Hello, this is RJ City, and I am ethically opposed to any more wrestling podcasts. I don't know why you guys are talking about wrestling. It is a niche product. It is a very small industry. Yet, at this point, there's more wrestling podcasts than there are wrestlers. There is something wrong with society as a whole, but as you get smaller and smaller into wrestling, and then the wrestling podcast sphere, it gets even worse. And one such example, if I may turn on the microscope and look at the drudgery that happens to be Tru Heel Heat, SP3, Sid, this is your fault.
Yes, it is I, Holly Cameron, and I'm in your phones, but I'm also making an appearance on Tru Heel Heat. I've been told it's a fantastic podcast. Why haven't you had me on it, huh? Where's my invitation? I think you guys need to feel the right. I'm at Comic-Con today, but I think we need to get some, some rap in the show. So let me know. Upbeat person, you're watching Tru Heel Heat.
It is Saturday morning, and you know what that means. It's time for the flagship podcast, the Saturday morning cookout, and we got a lot to discuss from the world of pro wrestling over in WWE. You got potential news and rumors about Vince McMahon returning to the company for John Cena's final matchup. Over in AEW, we're all geared up for Full Gear, as it was a good PR week as Tony Khan sat down with Ariel Helwani, and it did not go badly. I'm actually as surprised as all of you. We're also going to discuss New Japan Pro Wrestling as World Tag League kicked off. CMLL had Jet Speed as heels, which was insane. We're going to talk about that on today's show, as well as everything else, as well as final predictions for AEW Full Gear. It's the Tru Heel Heat flagship podcast. Let's hit the intro. Hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom, SP3, and we are live on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube and Facebook for Tru Heel Heat 356, Shifty Gears, discussing the latest wrestling news, including rumors circulating about Vince McMahon returning for John Cena's final match, a recap of this week in wrestling with WWE RAW on Netflix featuring the returns of Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, AJ Lee, and Dolph Ziggler, SmackDown featuring Carmelo Hayes pulling off the upset over Bronson Reed in the Last Time Is Now tournament thanks to Cody Rhodes, NXT Gold Rush Night 1 featuring JC Jane regaining the NXT Women's Championship after the culling turned on Tatum Paxley, Evolve, TNA Impact, AEW Dynamite, and Collision featuring the Go Home Show for tonight's Full Gear in Newark, ROH TV, NJPW World Tag League kicked off, CMLL Viernes Espectacular, and final predictions for AEW Full Gear, as well as you know what time it is. It is always TikTok time on the Flagship Podcast, and to talk about everything going on in the world of wrestling for this Full Gear weekend, we got an all-star panel with us today, folks. We got first up our usual co-host here on the Flagship, my main man. He is the true draw himself. Josh, how are you feeling?
Good. Last week I was away for a big event. A lot transpired within that event alone. Some shitty fans, I'll tell you that much. But besides that, I mean, overall it was great.
I saw that creepy fan with the AJ Lee video. That was insane. Oh my God. I actually watched that video. I was like, man, South Park tried to warn us. South Park did a whole episode on this. We should have learned.
That wasn't the worst part. It was the fact that people defended it. That was even more crazy.
Well, you know, people defend weird stuff. We usually talk about it and complain about it and rant about it on this show. And to do all of that on this week's show, we are joined by a special guest, maybe a guest that's going to be joining us a little bit more regular. We'll call him a recurring guest from here on out. But he is, of course, your resident Tru Heel pothead himself, or the pot heel himself, Chris G. How are you feeling?
Good. I'm good. People like that should get banned from AI. They're fucking it up for people like me who want to use it for good. We want to just use the AI tools to progress forward in life, not go backwards in civilization. You fucking creeps. But I'm great. I hope everybody out there is great. Thank you, my brothers, for having me. It's been a while and happy to be back.
Absolutely. Happy to have you on the show this week and happy to see all of you in the chat, in the live chat with us. Happy to see all of you who are watching on demand. We appreciate y'all for joining us. Show your appreciation back. The simplest way possible is by dropping a thumbs up on the video. That helps out the YouTube algorithm. You can also share the video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you're new to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, you can sound off in the comment section if you're watching us on demand. Let's keep the conversation going there. And of course, you can sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you while we're here live with you on the Flagship. This is our most interactive podcast of them all. So we'll try to highlight as many of your comments as possible. But of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what we do here. You want to show your support to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel. You want to show your support to the Flagship. You can send a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here. And we always appreciate the support. We got Eric Isaacs in the chat who says, hey, THH fam, happy Full Gear Day. The men's and women's teams in WWE War Games is all set. Yes, after last night's SmackDown, we know what we pretty much knew after Monday Night Raw, really, that AJ Lee and Becky Lynch have joined the women's War Games teams. We already knew the men's War Games teams after Monday, so a lot going on in WWE as they gear up for Survivor Series. We got Full Gear for AEW. New Japan's got World Tag League, so a lot for us to discuss on today's show. We got Blood Money in the chat giving us our Noah update, where he says, hey, SP3, Hank and Tank lost the GHC Tag Team Championships back to Masa Kitamiya and Takahashi Sagara, and Hiromu Takahashi wins Noah's Junior Grand Prix yesterday. I saw that Hiromu did win the tournament as the champion, so he gets to choose who he's going to face at the New Year's Day show that's coming up. They also announced Ozawa versus Inamura for the GAC Heavyweight Championships. But I'm not surprised that Hank and Tank just lost back the titles. It's not like they were going to stay in Japan for any longer. It's not like NXT has a lot of tag teams that they can just give up for a tour in Japan. The NXT tag team division has been like dry this whole year since Faxium went up to the main roster.
Maybe since Hank and Tank. I mean, Hank and Tank might have been the only like legit tag team that gave them any kind of spark.
Yeah. They were the ones that beat Fraxium for the titles at Stand and Deliver. So they were the only tag team around for a while. They would just face like Challenger of the Months until Dark State decided to beat them. But
or OTM, guys like that. Yeah.
OTM, I think those guys were injured for a while. They just came back. So.
Yeah.
We also got another update. He says also Mr. Smack Daddy retains his GAC Heavyweight Championship. Talking about that. He beat Kaito Kiyomiya on the show for Noah yesterday. He also says good news for Masahiro Taknishi. Chris Book's tag team partner has been discharged from the hospital after neck injury. This is according to DDT website. So you get a DDT update as well. Thank you, Blood Money. We appreciate you in the chat. We also got here a super chat donation from our good brother Vala. Thank you so much, Vala, for the support. He says, clowns out there wasting clean water and energy making those kinds of AI videos. Curing cancer, my ass. You're supposed to use the AI technology for good. Why are you using it for your creepy fantasies?
Terrible.
I don't understand. I just don't understand. Why are we doing this? But we're going to get into things here shortly. But of course, before we do that, we got to go into our Tru Heel roll call, shouting out all of you who's supporting us across social media, as well as here on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel. Our top 3 conversation starters on our Tru Heels group page, our Tru Heel Trinity. We got Jermaine Packman, you got Joe Bellini, you got Stewie John Palmer. Our Patreon backers, you got Ballup, you got Negro Buck, Nick Jackson, Professor Chris, Trey, Robert, Steve, Ladarius, John Martin, Dolores, James, Allen, Santo, Justin Rich, and Chuck Berries. Thank you so much for supporting us over at patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat. $3 a month gets you exclusive content. The best way to support us when we are not live here. So we always appreciate all of you who go outside of our YouTube channel to support us over there as well. But let's get into what we miss. And we're going to start off with WWE this week. And we're going to go over to Monday Night Raw because it was in the Mecca, Madison Square Garden on Monday. The show featured, of course, it was John Cena's final WWE TV appearance as an in-ring competitor as he came out for his last Raw and was in New York City. He was soon interrupted, though, by Dominic Mysterio, who issued a challenge for an Intercontinental Championship rematch coming up at Survivor Series. Since Cena beat him in his hometown, he wants his rematch in his hometown of San Diego. So that was made official on the show. But just when the Judgment Day surrounded Cena and then jumped him, it was Sheamus, Rey Mysterio, who came out to make the save. This led, of course, to Cena, Sheamus, and Rey picking up a win over the Judgment Days, Dirty Dom, Finn Balor, and JD McDonough in a very fun trios opener to the show. Cena, Rey, and Sheamus teaming up for the last time being in the ring with one another. You kind of felt it. Like, this is probably the last time these guys are going to be sharing the ring with one another. And unfortunate news that went down yesterday, Sheamus does not have the opportunity to go one-on-one with John Cena. So we'll get into that a little bit later. Alexa Bliss showed up in New York City to call out her tag team partner Charlotte Flair for not wanting to be part of her War Games team, which led to the Kabuki Warriors, Nia Jax, and Lash Legend coming out to interrupt and surround Bliss until Rhea Ripley and Io Sky had her back. Just when it looked like the heels had the advantage, Charlotte finally came out to make the save. She stood tall with Alexa, Rhea, and Io. Solo Sikoa moved on in the Last Time Is Now tournament as he beat the returning Dolph Ziggler, who looked great in his return back to WWE for the first time in 2 years. Solo picking up the win in what was a good match for the TNA star. While on the other end of the bracket, you had Gunther, the Ring General. He defeated WWE NXT's Javon Evans in what was an excellent bout for both Solo and Gunther to advance in the Last Time Is Now tournament. You got Gunther. He's going to be facing the winner from SmackDown between Carmelo Hayes and Bronson Reed, while Solo Sikoa would be facing the winner, I believe. Yeah, he's going to be facing the winner of the other matchup from SmackDown between Finn Balor and Penta. Then you had finally the two other big moments on the show. It was Maxine Dupree picked up an upset win over Becky Lynch to win the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship, thanks to a timely distraction from the returning AJ Lee. This also led to AJ having a confrontation with Rhea Ripley, where they teased that AJ could become the last member of Rhea's team for War Games. And then finally, the Vision came out for the men's War Games face-off. They came out, they cut their promo first. Then that led to Team Punk coming out. The Usos, Cody Rhodes, and CM Punk come out to confront them. A brawl ensues between the two teams. Just when it looks like Team Punk is in full control, it was Brock Lesnar making his return to WWE for the first time since WrestlePalooza to attack not only CM Punk, but also Cody Rhodes, laying out both of the top champions in WWE. However, his return was interrupted by the returning Roman Reigns, who hit the Superman punch to send Brock packing before Bronson Reed attacked him from behind. But Roman was able to get the last laugh as he hit a Superman punch, hit a big, massive spear on the floor through the barricade on Reed and two NYPD officers. And after Raw went off the air, Roman and Punk confronted one another, had their confrontation, and officially made Roman part of Team Punk for War Games. Me and Chris G talked all about Monday Night Raw on Rated Raw Review. Josh, what did you think about the huge Raw with 4 big returns from Madison Square Garden this week?
I thought Raw was pretty good, honestly. I enjoyed it myself. I thought this episode was more of what people said Raw was last week. A lot of returns. But it was an overall good show. Maybe it was because they were motivated because it's MSG and they probably didn't want to get booed by the MSG crowd. But besides that, it was a good show.
Yeah, I enjoyed this one. I said this on Rated Raw Review. I said it like in our group chat as well. I was like, this just felt like WWE was hot again, at least for this one night, and it was able to transfer over. I thought that, spoiler alert, I thought that SmackDown was better than usual as well. So they got the good energy throughout the week, being in Madison Square Garden and then transferring it over to the Blue brand. Chris, any additional thoughts that you didn't share with us on Rated Raw Review, or anything you want to mention about Monday Night Raw this week?
After several days of reflecting, I'm still super happy that NYPD got speared through the barricade. That's my biggest takeaway from that episode. It's gonna stay my biggest
NYPD, the fake.
Yeah,
NYPD.
the auxiliary cops. They gave him the auxiliary cops. They didn't even give him the regular beat cops.
They gave them the cops that are still training in the police academy. They just sent them out there. They was like, yeah, you want some additional work? You want to make a quick payday? Yeah, go protect WWE.
Yeah, go stop Roman Reigns. Go ahead.
Stand in front of a spear for somebody at Madison Square Garden. Be the time of your life. Great times. I'm still surprised that Roman wasn't shot. I'm still kind of shocked by that. I'm honestly. It's days later, and I'm like, that man must really have a lot of money, because they saw that over. They saw that over his complexion, so that was nice. We got in the chat with us Batman fan Gotham, who I guess jokingly says John Cena will be in AEW TV by 2026 or 2027. If you mean by like a commercial during AEW Dynamite, you're 100% right.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I was like, ain't no fucking way, but that's possible. See him on a
It's
Max
possible.
commercial. They're gonna do a Peacemaker commercial during AEW Dynamite.
Absolutely. Yeah, the cops are outside of my apartment, and yes, they're probably looking for Brock Lesnar since he was on Monday Night Raw this week. And that's why the NYPD showed up, and you never saw Brock Lesnar ever again. Once the cops show up, he was like, you know what? I gotta go. We reached my time limit on this show. What do you think? What do you think about all the big returns and how much they're stacking up kind of Survivor Series? Me and Chris kind of talked about it with Romeo on Rated Raw Review, but I kind of gave WWE credit for the fact that they have really kind of bolstered up and made Survivor Series into a big four pay-per-view again under Triple H. Since the addition of War Games, he's always threw the big stars into it, but it feels like this year he's throwing all the big stars. This is like an all-star game. War Games in both the men's and the women's. What do you think, Josh?
I would agree with that. The only thing I would say, the only nitpick I have, is that maybe they should have added Cena for the War Games match. Then that would, I think, completely put it over the top for me. But I mean, once you add Brock Lesnar, I'm like, wow, Brock is gonna work Survivor Series. Wow, like he's. Maybe he has no choice but to work Survivor Series. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fucking names, especially in one team. Like you got Cody and Punk being the champions in one team, even though it feels like Punk's team more than Cody's, which is hilarious. And then you have Roman now too. It's like, what the fuck? Like, how are you guys gonna fumble this? Somehow they'll find a way. And then, the women, once they got AJ Lee, I was like, yeah, I mean, that was obvious, but, all the stuff was obvious. Like the Brock return was so obvious. It wasn't even that surprising. But, you're trying to move tickets. And this is the best way to do it. Stack up your card. That's a big-ass stadium they got. So, I mean, he did a good job when it comes to that. Like, all right, let's get the people that we actually need for these kind of matches instead of like, storyline based. Let's put MFTs. Nobody was gonna see that shit. Nobody wants to see them in War Games. That was not gonna happen. No fucking way. That would have been me.
There was a lot of fans that were like, we want MFTs versus the Y6 in War Games. I'm like, you fool.
Get the fuck out of here. You must be on crack. You must be on crack if you wanted that. Get the fuck out of here. Like that was a match you're gonna sell on your big stadium show. Get the fuck out of here with that.
If it was an arena, maybe. If it was an arena, maybe.
Arena, yeah.
Tanga Loa and Eric Rowan going nose to nose. The people are on the edge of their seats.
They're on the edge of their seats. JC Mateo and Dexter Loomis. Oh my god.
It's funny, but it's funny that you say that is like because people barely like the Wyatt Six, and yet you wanted them in this match. Get the fuck out of here.
Yo, like YS6 have not like legitimately been on TV in a month and no one has complained about it. they are the WWE Tag Team Champions. Yes, they are the WWE
he had to ask.
Tag Team Champions.
It's been that long since I've seen him. I was like,
no one has said a peep about the fact that they haven't been on TV in a month.
Dragunov been back from his knee injury. He's been working more than them the last month.
That's crazy.
Insane. Yo, that's crazy. The fact that Sami Zayn took like a month and a half off after losing the US title, yet he's going to be wrestling next week and the YS6 are probably not.
Yeah. I will say on Raw too, I forgot to add the Cena stuff. I thought they could have done better. They kind of interrupted his promo, and then I don't know if that was gonna be your last match at MSG. I would have done something better. I wouldn't have done the 6-man, but that's just me.
It felt like a house show. It felt like what you would do at like if Cena's last show was like the house show. That's what they would have done. And that's what they did on Monday Night Raw. Like I said that on Rated Raw Review, if you remember, Chris. I was like, it was lackluster. It was just lackluster to me. It didn't hit the way that it should have. I would have liked him to reflect on some of his moments in Madison Square Garden, some of his moments on Monday Night Raw, but we got none of that. It was straight to, oh, we got to make this match official for Survivor Series. Unfortunate, but here we are. Speaking of John Cena, though, we're going to talk about the one of the big stories from this week. John Cena's retirement matchup is shaping up to be more than just a send-off. It could become a spectacle, as we might have two of the most controversial names in wrestling history, as well as American history, potentially in the building. During the Wrestling Observer radio this week, Brian Alvarez mentioned ongoing internal discussions about who might appear at Cena's final match, scheduled for Saturday night's main event in Washington, D.C. Among names reportedly being talked about behind the scenes are Donald Trump, the President of the United States, and former disgraced Chairman of the Board, Vince McMahon. Brian Alvarez said, obviously, one of the big questions is who is going to be there for Washington, D.C., final match of John Cena's career, Saturday night's main event. There has been a lot of talk about the possibility of Donald Trump being there, a lot of talk about the possibility of Vince McMahon being there. I don't know if either of them are going to be there, but it's definitely something that is being discussed backstage. Nothing is confirmed yet, but the fact that both names are being tossed around in connection with Cena's retirement adds to the intrigue to an already monumental night. Cena's legacy is cemented in WWE, obviously, and both Trump and McMahon have played prominent roles in WWE history, whether through storyline, ownership, or sheer influence. With Shane and Stephanie McMahon, who showed up at Cena's final Raw in Madison Square Garden, attention has naturally shifted to whether Vince will follow and whether Trump's long-standing relationship with WWE could lead to a surprise appearance. If even one of them shows up, it could completely shift the atmosphere of Cena's last ride. Brian Alvarez had, in related news, some information about the class of 2026 during Monday's edition of Wrestling Observer Radio. According to Alvarez, the soon-to-be retired John Cena is believed to be the headlining star for next year's WWE Hall of Fame class coming up in Las Vegas. Alvarez says the WWE Hall of Fame, as of Monday night, the belief is the headliner would be John Cena. I guess that's probably not a surprise. Maybe it won't be, but that certainly was the discussion on Monday night that John Cena was probably headlining the 2026 Hall of Fame. Alvarez added Stephanie McMahon has already been announced. So John Cena, Stephanie would be probably the two biggest names if that's what ends up happening. But that would likely be WrestleMania weekend of 2026. So it's coming at some point, probably WrestleMania weekend. WWE has not yet announced the details for next year's WWE Hall of Fame class of 2026 induction ceremony. The ceremony is typically held during WrestleMania weekend, so we expect it to be probably the Friday before the two-night event that weekend. But some talk about the John Cena retirement matchup coming up in Washington, D.C. next month. So you know how we do here on the flagship. 0 to 100. What percentage are you putting on Vince McMahon showing up at John Cena's retirement matchup? I will give you get two percentages. One percentage is him showing up, just him showing up in general. And then the other percentage is him showing up and being on camera. Chris, we'll start with you.
I think him showing up, I'd give it like an 85% chance. I think him showing up and being on camera, okay, I'd say like 35, and that's being generous. I think they're gonna give him. I think if he is on camera, they're gonna give him the Shane McMahon treatment that they gave him on Monday, where he's just in the background of somebody and they show somebody like, let's say they show another gentleman that we might end up talking about, right? Who's to say Vince won't be in the back around that area and you'll just catch him in the back? So I don't know if that counts, but I think that's the only way he gets shown on camera. I don't think they'll like actually introduce him on camera.
That's fair. That is fair. What about you, Josh? What you're gonna put the percentage of him showing up and him? What's the percentage of him showing up on camera?
Showing up, I'll give it about 60%. Because if he's in the building, then he's in the building. Cena will get what he probably would want. Again, a lot of people are not too happy about that, but Cena has been very open about his relationship with Vince. It is what it is. I can't. He's known the man for over 20 years. Who are we to say, right? When it comes to that. As far as camera, probably 10%. I don't think they'll show him on camera. If they do, either way, honestly, it's not gonna really matter, because once they know that he's there and then people take pictures and then people see it, it's kind of the same thing. So, I'll give it like a 10%, as in like introducing him. Like, I don't think that will go that far, but I do believe that he would be in the building.
Yeah, if I had to put a percentage on it, I would put it in that he's gonna be in the building. I would put like 85%. I'm with Chris. It's like it's very high. It's very high that
nobody wants to go to full 100 just in case.
Yeah, not the full 100. There's room for error. Like maybe WWE is not as bad as we think they are. But yes, I do think that he is an important, figure in John Cena's career. If John Cena wants him to be there, he'll probably be there. If Cena asks him to be there. So, but as far as him being on camera, I would say 25%. I'm not gonna go that high. I'll say 25%, because WWE has shown us with Brock Lesnar's return, with Triple H talk to media. Like, they've showed us too many times this year. They don't give a fuck what PR says. They don't give a fuck what it looks like. If they think it's okay, that is the biggest thing for them. Like the ruthless depression era, as people are calling it, or TKO era, is just, we're too rich. We taking too much money. Y'all just need to shut up and open up your wallets.
Ruthless depression era. That's crazy. That's crazy. Every time I hear that, I'm like, damn.
That's a good one.
It is hilarious to me. I loved it when the first time I saw it. Then they got the wrestlers using it now. Fucking Drew used it in a tweet the other day. We got it in the chat. Speaking of which, call me Mr. Bonda, who says, hot take: ruthless aggression era greater than attitude era. That's what way? That's not a hot take. It's. I think it's an old hot take. It's a mild hot take because it's old. Yeah. That people have been saying that for a couple of years, and it depends on what you're talking about. If you're talking about in ring, of course, yeah. But to say that, then you can also say this era is greater than every other era, because this has the best wrestlers. That's just how it is. Like, it's evolution. People, athletes, wrestlers, they're just gonna get better as time goes on. But I don't agree with it. I think Attitude Era is greater than everything else because of the characters, the moments, the promos. Like, it's a lot of the feeling of the Attitude Era and how big it was. It was something that I would go home, I would go to school, and I'd be talking about it with my friends.
I would say more the feeling.
My mom was tapped in on it. I would be watching a show with my mom that had nothing to do with wrestling, and a wrestler would pop up or a reference about wrestling. Like, it was a part of the fabric of pop culture in the Attitude Era. So there's nothing greater.
Yeah, I would say more the feeling than anything. I would say more the feeling, just because, like what you said, like when these guys were on TV, or they popped up somewhere, it kind of just felt like larger than life at one point, honestly. Like, when Stone Cold showed up somewhere in the city, you see like the whole fucking like Times Square being shut down. Like, that's how big they were. So I do agree when it comes to the feeling. If you're talking about product wise, it's not even close, because Attitude Era, when you try to watch that shit back now, it's rough. It's a rough watch for a lot of things, but they do have big moments. I will say they do have a lot.
2000. Give me 2000 WWE over everything else. 2000
Yes, man.
WWE, that's timeless. I go back and watch that. I do admit some of those shows in 1999, Vince McMahon and Vince Russo must have been on some drugs. So I will say that. But it's no, because I hate the fact that people say like that. That's a common thing too. That said, like, oh, you go back and they were rough. It was so bad. It was so bad. No, it was really good episodes of TV. There was some bad one, but there was a lot of bad in the Ruthless Aggression era. But when people talk about the Ruthless Aggression era, you know what they're really referencing? They're referencing SmackDown through 2002 through 2003 with the SmackDown 6. They're referencing all the great matches that Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Jericho, those guys, Brock Lesnar, those guys had. And they're completely ignoring the fucking Triple H reign of terror. They're completely ignoring Monday Night Raw. They're completely ignoring SmackDown in 2004 with JBL as WWF champion and Kenzo Suzuki feuding with John Cena for like 6 months. Like, that shit was awful. There was some awful shit in Ruthless Aggression, too.
Yeah, I remember who defended the Triple H thing. I think it was John Escudero who defended that. And I was like, bro, you crazy. You actually like that?
That was extreme. That was an extreme heel run. That's one of the heel runs that made me hurt. I hated somebody personally. Like, I thought Triple H was a piece of shit human being, and I knew he was playing a character. That's how much I hated that heel run. I will say this. I will say when it comes to in-ring, the Ruthless Aggression era, like, probably hands down. I think if you ask the majority, it was a better era in ring, right? All those great matches, especially on the SmackDowns, right? Now, when you talk about eras, though, I feel like the Attitude Era transcends more generations across.
Yeah.
You know, you get a lot of older fans that tell you, I stopped watching after the Attitude Era.
Even to this day. Yeah.
Yeah, even to this day, you know? And there's people that are like,
they sell merch. They sell like merch from the Attitude Era. Like, you know, like even that dude that did that line, he did like the clothing line for WWE. All that shit's based off the Attitude Era.
That's true. That's true. And then you get even the lapsed fans like that came back and started watching, you know, recently or whatever. They skipped the fucking Ruthless Aggression era. They just like straight from the Attitude Era to like whatever year they started watching, which is a shame because you know you missed out on some good wrestling. But Attitude Era was definitely my goat.
Yeah, I think if you want to say like Ruthless Aggression era is more influential, especially knowing how WWE and mainstream wrestling is today, then yeah, it's probably more influential to the wrestling that we see today, because that's when WWE went from really a character-based product to more of in-ring focus with what they were doing with the SmackDown 6 and the in-ring competitors that they had during the Ruthless Aggression era. And you really had to be at least a good wrestler to be accepted as a main event star. Like, the fact of the matter is, when you held the world title and you weren't a good wrestler, you stand out and you're talked about for decades later. Like, literally, when we brought up Ruthless Aggression, our producer put in our private chat, Great Khali. I mentioned JBL. Like, these were guys that were champion during the Ruthless Aggression era, guys.
Damn. I mean,
it's a rough time.
I mean, yeah. You know, I mean, even when it comes to the Attitude Era itself, I mean, you know, I think within its time, you know, it was great for what it was, because it was edgier TV back then. So they kind of blended what the world was at that time. Now, when people say, "Oh, we want," like, you know, they should bring back the Attitude Era, I'll be like, no, it's not a great idea, especially in 2025. You know. But I think why
doesn't the reality era get more credit, guys? The reality era. Why doesn't that get more credit, guys? 2011 through 2014. Why doesn't that get it? Or 2016. Why doesn't that get enough credit? No?
I can tell you what.
No, 2010 don't get no credit. It should get more credit. It's created all the top stars of this current generation. Your Roman Reigns, your Seth Rollins, your I can't even say it seriously. Your Jon Moxley. Come on, man. What we talking about? We got Vala, he says, nah, real hot take is stop the year-long champion title runs. All right. He says, because those kids haven't grown up enough to have podcasts, SP3. I mean, yes, but that might be a good hot take there. He says, stop the year-long champion title runs. Are you for year-long champions or against it? Josh?
To be honest with you, I'm more for it. I'm more for it, but I think like if you're in a sense of jumping through champions, I think it would be a situation where it needs to make sense. You know, it's like we were talking about, like the Attitude Era. You know, guys, when we talk about Stone Cold, we talk about The Rock, we talk about Undertaker. What's the common thing that you hear about these guys when they're world champions? Like 4-time world champion, 6-time world champion, 7-time world champion. Now it's more about, oh, like this person held the world championship for like 700 days. Roman Reigns. When we hear about Roman Reigns, remind you, Roman Reigns is what, a 4 or 5-time world champion? Nobody mentions that. People talk about, oh, he was the champion for over 1,300 days. So it's kind of one of those things where how the conversation has shifted because of that. But I think, you know, usually I don't mind long range just because, like, you know, I like when the champion looks strong. I like when the champion has their time of giving the belt. But if you're doing a scenario where I want to say hot potato, when you hot potato the title, I think it would be a situation where it needs to make sense. I just don't do it just because you feel like you need to do it. Do it that it make for a situation. I know we're trying to do it with Drew and Cody. We're like, oh, you know, let Drew win the WrestlePalooza and then Cody win it back. I thought that would have been kind of trash, honestly, if that would have happened. And I'm a Cody fan. So it would have been like, oh, Cody's a two-time champion. It was like, no, it was fucking stupid. Just fucking give Drew the belt if that's what you're going to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it depends on the situation. Like, if you have a year-long title run, we've seen, like, that can make your legacy. Like, we still talk about CM Punk 434-day reign. We're going to talk about Roman Reigns 1,316-day reign for years to come, that we saw this iconic years-long title run. Even something like the Jon Moxley almost year-long run in AEW that paid off and gave us this big moment with Hangman Adam Page. So I think I am more for the year-long championship runs. I think that I think that it's because of the discourse and conversation around losses to wins has really changed. Like, I watch a lot of House of Highlights where they do fan versus hater. And a lot of the hater, like in any video you watch, a lot of the haters, their main point of contention is, let me highlight all the negatives, let me highlight all the losses, and just completely ignore and disregard any of the moments of greatness, any of the wins, any of the achievements that they made, any factual evidence that the fan has. Let me just ignore that and just focus on this one negative that I know about. And I think that is common. And I think that in general, someone that's a 16-time champion, it's looked at as, oh, you lost the title 16 times nowadays, more than it's looked at as, oh my God, you've had that many title reigns. I think that the discourse in general, especially with people much younger than us, the generation below us, I think that's what the discourse is.
That's true. It's kind of weird. It's always a weird thing too. Like, oh, of course, you know, if you win it that many times, of course you got to lose that many times to win it. I just don't think that's a really good argument to make, just because it's fucking stupid. When somebody in the UFC wins and they become like a 3-time world champion, like Alex Pereira, yeah, he had to lose it multiple times so he get the title back. Like, you know, like it happens. That's how it works.
Especially in that sport. I don't know. I think I like year-long reigns, but how can I say this? There's so many titles out there that I don't like multiple year-long reigns at
one time. Yes.
Yeah.
It
it makes them feel less special. And I think a long reign like that deserves to add to the credibility and to make it feel more special. There should be less of them, right? That's why the Roman Reigns fucking 3.5-year run, 4-year run is so special. That's why Punk's 434 days was so special, because at that time titles were switching
like that.
like clothes, you know what I mean? Like everybody was winning the belt, or people were getting cashed in on the next day in that era, a whole bunch of shit. So that's why they feel more special. So I don't mind it. It feels like sometimes there are very long reigns happening at the same time, and it could feel like, ugh. Like eventually you're gonna be like, when is one of these motherfuckers gonna lose the belt? So I just rather not get to that point. So I think, you keep the 1 year plus reign special, you keep them rare, and then you have your 3-month champions, the 6-month champions, the 9-month champions, your 10-week champions, stuff like that.
Well, even like look at like WWE. Like I was talking about more of like fans and haters and all that. But look at WWE. What did they hype up more? When Roman hit 1,000 days or when Cena won number 17? I felt like Roman's reign got hyped up way more than Cena winning the title 17
Breaking
times.
the record.
So
yeah.
they value holding the title longer over winning it multiple times. So if the company does that, then the fans are going to do that.
Makes sense.
We got our fourth host joining us. She just has to give me a thumbs up, tell me that she's ready. There she is. She is the princess of all the Tru Heels, Miss Krssi Luv. How are you feeling, Miss Krssi?
Good morning. I didn't know we had a full house. I would have stayed home today. But here we are. Good morning.
You stay home.
You're making me feel welcome.
You work from home. What are you talking?
I can just enjoy the watch you
welcome.
guys. But I'm happy to see Chris G. This is always a great
She walked
time.
in the door and the grandpa sent someone was like, "Sure, this motherfucker's here." Put a hat back on, walk right back out the door.
I could have tied my head back up and got back in the bed, but it's okay. Hey guys,
She was about to do a straight
morning.
Romeo on us. Like, oh, he's here. Oh, don't need to be here.
But it's all good. Hi guys, good morning, good evening, good night, good afternoon. How is everybody doing? Cable Vision don't want you to be great, well, not, I don't have regular cable, but I have like you need Wi-Fi to run our stuff that we run. And power outage and rain is not fun in my area. It's sad. So here we are.
Rained on for like days.
Yeah. I was like, y'all don't have this fixed by now. Does this happen in China? Because I don't understand this. Or Russia? Because why we always got issues with our power and our technology?
Apparently, it's only in Brooklyn, according to SP3.
I'm up the highest. I get the rain first up here in the Bronx. Bronx is the highest, so we get the rain first. So I don't know. Maybe it's a Brooklyn.
I don't know. Maybe sometimes we get more rain than you guys in the Bronx. Is more like
It's true. It's true. It could happen. But yes, we were discussing a couple of different topics that the chat brought up. Before that, we were talking about the rumor that Vince McMahon has been speculated to show up at John Cena's retirement match. We talked previously about the Donald Trump rumor since it's in Washington, D.C. But
oh my God,
we wanted to get a 0 to 100 percentage-wise. What do you think, Miss Krssi Luv? Do you think that Vince McMahon will show up at John Cena's retirement match? From 0 to 10, 0 to 100, what percentage are you putting on?
Vince, I don't even think he should be on TV, but what do we know? I give it 25, and that's actually really high for me because I really wouldn't give a shit about it anyway. But like whatever. If he's there, like rolls eyes. Sure. I mean, he could probably be there, but like pan out and like he could wave. But I don't know if they should make him talk. I don't think.
Yeah, we put a percentage on what we think of them if he shows up, and then we put a percentage on if they show him on camera. And yeah, the show him on camera was much smaller percentage than him showing up. But most of us are above 85% on him showing up.
Oh, so everyone thinks that he's going to show up. Okay, sure.
Yeah, we think he's going to show up, but we don't think he's going to be shown on camera.
Oh, okay. So you think he'll be in the building? Okay, so then that's a different story. So yes, he will probably be there 100%. Yes.
Yeah. Old Nutty agrees as well.
I'm sure. Oh.
Yeah.
DC, Donald's going to probably be there too. They'll get booed out of the building if they show them on camera. So I don't think they should do such a thing. If you don't,
they want to avoid that embarrassment.
Like how Hulk Hogan was, like Terry. If you don't want the stuff at the bottom to say crowd booing, you don't want that.
DNZ agrees. He says 95% appearance, 15% on camera. Call me Mr. Bonda says Code Man got to turn heel in the big 2026. The desperate champion does doing anything it takes to remain the face of the promotion. I love dude, but his second reign needs a lot more. Too bad Triple H Hunter writes shit. So we'll talk about Cody Rhodes, who did have a great promo on last night's show on SmackDown in a bit here, but we got a little bit more news to get through. Becky Lynch was pissed off and was making it known on social media.
I love that. I love this.
After losing the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship on Raw. The title change followed a controversial finish in which Maxine Dupree won the match after a distraction caused by the returning AJ Lee. Lynch took to X to vent, calling the finish horrible and disgraceful, and specifically targeting referee Jessica Carr. It should be noted that she had posted multiple tweets earlier before this. She said, horrible, disgraceful finish on Raw. Becky Lynch, me, they call me the man. I'm a winner, a megastar. I absolutely dominated, but somehow the match ends like that. Total chaos. And Jessica Carr, the referee, crooked Carr, acting like she's running the show, not saying it's rigged. It might be rigged, but I'm not saying it. But it smelled very fishy. The people know. The people saw it. The people are angry. Worst officiating ever. Angry. Hashtag WWE RAW. Hashtag scandalous finish. Hashtag Justin Becky. Raw General Manager Adam Pearce has repeatedly said that referee Carr's decision remained final, no matter how much Becky Lynch vents out. It remains to be seen if she will try to get her rematch against Maxine Dupree at this point, but she did do some targeting of AJ Lee, like we said earlier on SmackDown, which led to her joining the War Games team. She was absolutely tremendous. I think in this week alone, she has won WWE Social Media Star of the Year.
And she had the New Day with her too. It's funny. It's great shit.
Bros for Becky. We're a part of the Bros for Becky. It's me.
I am Justice.
Xavier, Kofi.
Me too.
Sisters for Becky, Krssi Luv. We stand up for our sister. Yeah. She was screwed over.
Yeah, she was screwed
over. Yep. And injustice.
I'm gonna sign the petition. If there's a petition, I want to sign it.
You know what? I'll join. I'll be a Boricua for Becky.
There we go.
Bodies for Becky.
For Becky.
Come on, Josh.
Blacks and Boricuas for Becky.
Come on, I mean, Josh. I don't need to do that. You already know how I feel. I mean, this man, Adam Pearce, needs to be fired. I've been saying it for 2 years. He needs to be fired. He needs to do his job. He sucks at it. But then he wants to pick and choose.
Not enough people are saying the real problem, though, because this is premeditated murder on the Intercontinental Championship. Because Triple H ain't going to care once he realizes that Maxine Dupree is holding that title.
I mean, he should, because he fucking booked it.
Also true.
Well, you're right. You know.
He booked it. I'm like, whoa, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm just saying.
I read it with all the caps because she had multiple words that were all in caps. So that was fun.
I love her. Everything she did this week is great.
What do you think about the War Games team with her joining up with Team Asuka against Team Rhea with AJ Lee, Krssi?
Okay, first of all, I'm watching SmackDown I was at a bar and I made the man change the channel and the people were not very happy with me. But anywho, I heard a man say, "This is so fake." I was like, "Well, don't watch then. That's all." So watch that fucking side. Don't watch. Don't get me upset up in this place today. I had a couple of drinks too. Don't do that. Anyways, so I'm there, I'm watching it, and I'm like, they bring out AJ Lee, and then all of the other girls come out, and she's just standing. I'm like, AJ, your team is getting crucified over there. You got to help them. But then I see what happened. Great stuff. They did great. You know, they had to recruit Becky because that's who has the most issues with her. And it worked out. I think it's going to be a good War Games. Will it be as good as Blood and Guts? Probably not, but I think it's going to be a good War Games.
I mean, we hope so, because remember, there was that one idiot who said, hey, this is probably going to be the worst match of the night.
Well,
Yeah, I think that was wasn't that Danny? Seems like
Yeah, I know you out there, Danny. I know you out there. Show yourself.
Alexa Bliss Gamer says the woman only got 11 minutes all of SmackDown last night. Yeah, I did notice that there was no women's matches on SmackDown last night.
Where the hell is Jade Cargill?
She was backstage. She had a segment with Chelsea Green, but that was about it. So.
Like, how we have a champ and she like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. Okay, now we've like, okay. Just want to know like what we're doing with the the championship at this point.
On
like,
Monday night,
she's all over social media. Why she ain't give a damn match?
You
she's good for social media.
You should apply for the baddie section. She's doing that again because Triple H can't he can't come up with original ideas. But former WWE superstar Nick Nemeth, aka formerly known as Dolph Ziggler, made a shocking return to WWE on this past Monday's Raw from MSG. The former World Heavyweight Champion was revealed as Solo Sikoa's mystery opponent in the first round of the ongoing Last Time Is Now tournament. Fightful Select has an update on Dolph Ziggler making his WWE return. According to the report, Ziggler's deal is similar to what happened with former WWE superstar Matt Cardona, aka Zack Ryder, who also made his return in the Last Time Is Now tournament. WWE sources informed Fightful Select that Ziggler is not currently signed to a new WWE deal. Ziggler is reportedly still signed with TNA Wrestling after re-upping with the promotion earlier this year. Ziggler has reportedly been working in TNA through a series of short-term contracts. TNA sources indicate that Nemeth prefers that method after being locked down to WWE for such a long period of time. Additionally, Fightful Select notes that WWE was happy with Ziggler's performance on WWE RAW. WWE also has new Dolph Ziggler merchandise available on WWE Shop following his surprising return on Raw. And in a recent interview with Jonathan Coachman on Off the Ropes, Nick Nemeth revealed that when WWE initially reached out to him for his one-off appearance, he was told that they would announce his participation in the tournament ahead of time. Nemeth thought that it was a bad idea, but luckily for him and his fans, the company kept his participation a secret. He said a few weeks ago, when I was told, it's like, hey, we're going to have you in this thing and we're going to announce it ahead of time. They're going to show the brackets or something. And I go, oh my God, that's such a bad idea. I go, is there any other way we're not doing this? They go, there might be something they're going to put out today. It'll be on social media, maybe retweet it or something. I'm like, oh my God, I hope this doesn't happen. And nothing happened. So I'm happy.
I'm happy they didn't do that either.
No. Your guys' creative sucks. Let's not do that.
Right. And then, of course, he couldn't. He's on he's signed to TNA, but of course he had to come there as Dolph. Like, can't we just
and no mention of TNA at all?
Which is crazy because on Impact they mentioned that both Nick and Cardona were back in WWE for the tournament. So TNA hit him with the continuity and the reference, and then WWE was like,
"That's not new.
These guys."
That's not new,
right? Exactly.
They always do that. Remember the Royal Rumble? Remember the Royal Rumble? WWE didn't promote TNA once.
Royal Rumble, they said TNA. They said TNA.
On the show, yeah. No, but remember Mickey James
on Raw or SmackDown.
No, but remember Mickey James. Remember when Mickey James was showing up for the Rumble?
Yeah, they
talked about they mentioned the belt, but then like TNA is the one over promoting like Royal Rumble, like, oh, everybody tune into Royal Rumble, and then not once WWE and social media was like tune into TNA, like tune into Impact.
Oh no, they don't do that. But like at least they said it. This is one where the two appearances, Zack Ryder and Dolph Ziggler,
None of them. Yeah.
not a one time they said TNA. The only person who said TNA was Dolph when he came out to the ring.
That's about it.
That's
He's like,
when
let
he
me
did
try to
say
do something. Let me try to do something to recognize that we're out here, guys.
He was like, I gotta give my boys some type of shine, some
Right.
type of shine.
Yo, and they both lost, so like they
And they
never
wa-
left. That was great.
now that part pissed me off. I was like, real. So this is what we're doing. We bring these guys back just to like.
Oh no, I thought it was great. I was laughing because I was like, it just proves they're both losers.
You know what? Damn.
You come back, you get a like, oh my god, big pop, and then you still lose. A bunch of they're just two losers. Like, and they'll always
And
be.
Dolph got a big old pop too. His was
He
bigger
did.
than from Cardona. It's very big.
He lost a solo.
And he lost the solo.
Cardona is from New York. He should have been at Madison Square Garden, not Dolph.
He should. Yep.
That's true.
That's very true. You're right. But what do we know?
Chuck Berries with a super chat donation. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries. We always appreciate your support, good brother. He says, yo, Chris, if Krssi goes on one of her outrageous rants, could you read the disclaimer manually since you are live and in person? LOL.
I forgot I even did that. So thank you, Chuck, for reminding me.
Did what? What?
Did I make the disclaimer? Oh no, got me.
No, I think it was Negro Buck, Nick Jackson, but I guess
Yeah,
he's
Negro
like,
Oh
Buck
shit, Negro Buck did
he's
it.
he's trying to give you a different job, I guess. But thank you,
Right.
Chuck Berries, for the super chat.
I can clip the Negro Buck audio and I just
We got it. We got it here just in case. We got Adrian Carpenter in the chat. Thank you so much for the super chat donation. Always appreciate the support. He says, if AEW had 0 women's matches on Dynamite, you never hear the end of it. WWE has 0 women's matches on SmackDown. Nothing said by anyone. You're absolutely right. And that's why I said it, Adrian. So I appreciate the super chat donation because I noticed it. I noticed it very much when they did the whole Chelsea backstage segment because we were supposed to get Chelsea Green celebrating her U.S. title win on this show, but that got scrapped as well. They just did a backstage segment where she was like, oh, I'm going to change it. I'm not going to do it because Julia and Kiana James are looking for me because you're so scared of the woman you beat in 1:38 last week. I'm like, what are we doing with the women's? The SmackDown women's division is just so piss poorly put together and booked and assembled because there's really no stars. It's Jade Cargill and all the other women that are stars are involved in War Games.
Sure.
But thank you so much, Adrian, for the super chat donation. We got another one here from Chuck Berries. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries, for the support. He says, got to admit that I was feeling that Cody promo. I was drinking my beer and shouting like, go ahead, Cody, talk your shit. Cody was fired up. I will give him that, even though he did not sell that beating that Drew McIntyre gave him at all.
That part.
It in the moment. He sold it in the moment, but he like recovered very fast.
Gave
less than
that motherfucker a sensu bean. Gave him a sensu bean backstage. Cody's like,
I mean,
like crazy.
Not much you could really do. They had this man wrestle with a torn pec. So it was like, yeah.
Just a little blood. Get out there, kid.
Yeah, just a little blood, I guess.
Just a little blood.
Rub some dirt on it. You'll be fine.
Shane McMahon showed up at Monday Night Raw this
disrespectful.
week.
Straight disrespectful. Finish. Go ahead.
He was not shown on camera. And a new report has some note on why. As noted, the former WWE star and executive attended Monday's show at Madison Square Garden. McMahon was not shown on camera in the audience, unlike a number of celebrities and the like who attended the show. According to Fightful Select, WWE sources noted those shown in the audience had projects to promote. McMahon, on the other hand, was just visiting the show. The sources stressed that McMahon was welcome to the show. He posted to his Twitter account from the show, writing, so good to be back home at MSG to watch at John Cena final show at the Garden. McMahon has not made an appearance on WWE TV in quite some time.
He was seen attending an NBA playoff game back in April along with Charlotte Flair, though. So it was disrespectful, and this is such a BS excuse
And
or
I'm about to say
reasoning.
the
Oh,
same
he
thing.
doesn't have a project to promote.
So when you have other celebrities there, they don't have anything to promote, but you still put them on the fucking TVs. Don't give me such bullshit. That I call it cap and all of that.
You got Andrew Schultz shoving Cam,
Right.
having a fight with JD McDonough on the fucking
How you
sidelines.
First of all, who made Andrew Schultz a part of fucking wrestling? Every time he go there now, they put him on fucking TV. Since fucking when?
Who made him an honorary New York Giant? Why is he chilling with the Giants? Go fucking sit up there.
Speaking of which quick segue to that, Cam Skatebo got a bit of a moment on this week's WWE RAW,
Good for him,
and
yeah.
a new report has a few details on when it came together. The New York Giants running back attended Monday's show. He got briefly involved in a segment involving the Judgment Day, backing up comedian Andrew Schultz in a ringside scuffle. Fightful Select has
look at that lineup. That lineup is crisp. Like, you see that? I'm sorry.
Fightful Select had a report on the matter. According to the outlet, the quick spot was decided on the day of the show. The plan was always to have a little physicality as possible. Skatebo is out of action after undergoing surgery for an open dislocation of his ankle. There has been some pushback from pundits online about Cam Skatebo doing even a vaguely physical spot on the show. However, Fightful Select notes that according to sports media sources, the Giants didn't have an issue with what went down. CM Punk weighed in on the matter earlier this week, saying, "Dude's out on a broken leg. He broke his leg for you, playing for your football Giants, and now you're just gonna try and be upset at him for what? I don't understand."
Shut up, Punk.
Wait, so he's a Giants, but he had on a Rangers jersey.
In New York, it's still New York.
They were
if you're a football player, why would you wear a football jersey?
I mean, you could have worn a Knicks jersey. I'm just saying, just correlation, but you know,
the Rangers play there too.
I agree.
The Rangers play in New York.
I'm just saying, if you want to wear one of the New York shirts, you pick the place and the home before the Rangers.
Rangers play in Madison Square Garden.
I understand. Okay, maybe it was chilly outside, so he wore the long sleeve shirt. Fine, whatever.
Yeah, maybe that. Maybe.
No, but it was color. But it was also color coordination.
I was like the capacity of Krssi Luv to have reverse caucasity on Cam Skatebo, saying that he got to wear the black man sport and not the white man sport. What are we talking?
I mean, he got the black man lineup. I mean, you might as well just go. The whole aesthetics is not matching. That's all.
That's a Dominican barbershop lineup if I've ever seen one. Cat found one uptown. I fucking know it. My sources told me.
You might be right, Chris. You might be right. Yeah. That's definitely because my son went and got a lineup, and I mean, it was I think they was Dominican, or and it was because their barber wasn't available, and he went that line was like tight. That shit was tight. I was like, damn. I was like, we might have to switch barbers. This is nice.
Oh, we got Adrian Carpenter with another super chat donation. Thank you so much. Appreciate all the support. It says SB3, the women involved in blood and guts still has matches in the build to the match. It's no excuse for WWE not to have a women's match on SmackDown. Oh yeah, I'm not making excuses for them.
Yeah, no.
You won't find me making excuses for WWE. You won't find me making excuses for any of these companies.
The SmackDown, I feel like the SmackDown ladies have the shit end of the stick. The Raw ladies get to be, they get a little bit more than what the SmackDown girls do. And it's really sad and a shame because a lot of the good girls are on SmackDown, but here we are and they don't care. And they're going to be on 3 hours now. Terrible. You can't
Yikes. We'll see what happens with that.
So that's what we got to do. SmackDown reviews after SmackDown. That 11 o'clock time, terrible.
I quit my job doing that.
I remember. Yeah.
3 hours. I was like, you know what? I quit. SmackDown.
Not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it at all.
Not worth it at all. SmackDown last night, the show featured The Vision kicking off the program with Paul Heyman bragging about his team. This led to the Usos coming out to interrupt. Just when Heyman mentions that they have the numbers advantage against the Usos and why they didn't learn anything from him during his time with the Bloodline, the Usos introduced the undisputed WWE champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, but no Cody Rhodes as his music went off. However, Drew McIntyre brutally attacked Cody in his tour bus outside of the arena. This led to the officials and the Usos coming to check on Cody. And then later in the show, we had Carmelo Hayes defeating Bronson Reed via countout in a crazy matchup that had a lot of interference from The Vision, Braun Breaker, Logan Paul. You had the Usos coming out to interfere. Just when it looked like everybody had fought through the crowd and were out of this, Cody Rhodes showed up and ran Bronson Reed into the ring post, hit the crossroads on outside the floor. When is there blood in WWE? Come on.
Like, where's the cut? You had a whole cut when you was outside, like you said. Where did it go? What happened?
Makeup. It doesn't look. Then Cody cut a fired up promo, great promo, where he hyped up the entire freaking War Games in like a minute and change. It was so good. He was like, Drew McIntyre, I said I was done with you. Well, I'm not done anymore. And Bronson Reed, you're probably the best guy in that group. But if you got your head out your ass, you would know it. And Braun Breaker, where are you? Historically speaking, a Steiner has never been better than a Rhodes. And Logan Paul, you want to show up with your drones and do flips? Guess what? No one cares. And Brock Lesnar, the last time you was here, guess who beat you? It was me. And Paul Heyman, I saw the WrestleMania photo, all of those guys you represented on camera, and I realized something. You build them, I beat them. War Games is my birthright. But I was like, God damn, Cody. He had a checklist and he checked all the boxes. It was amazing. He did. Great stuff.
I'm gonna have to cut that promo and put it like on the ether beat, yo. And we're gonna have to upload that.
Oh yes, do that, please.
I'm gonna write that down.
Bar after bar. It's so good.
I gotta work on that.
In the other last time is now tournament matchup, you had Penta picked up a win over Finn Balor in a rock solid bout to advance in the last time is now tournament. He goes on to face Solo Sikoa in the next round as we finally got a damn bracket. It only took them a year. Ilya Dragunov beat JD McDonough, who showed up and answered his open challenge. And this one was an absolute banger to retain the United States Championship. Ilya Dragunov really solidifying himself on the main roster with this run with the U.S. Championship. Then you had a couple of guys that already lost to Dragunov for the U.S. title as DIY scored a victory over Fraxium after Candice LeRae got involved, pulling off the max of Axiom to give them the win. And then finally, the women's War Games got... No, it was Corey Graves. Corey Graves said he was hideous.
Yeah, someone said he was hideous. I know I heard hideous.
And the women's War Games got the main event spot as the field became clearer as Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair got their I am the storm in front of the light as they had a cinematic meeting at a restaurant, I guess, and got on the same page before they came out with Io Sky and Alexa Bliss to announce the fifth member of their unit as AJ Lee. AJ Lee's music hit. However, Kabuki Warriors, Nia Jax, and Lash Legend blindsided the babyfaces from behind while Becky Lynch ambushed her rival AJ Lee as she was coming down to make the save to get revenge for her interference on Raw. Becky then helped Asuka, Nia, Lash, and Kyrie attack the rest of the babyfaces, and the show closed with Becky shaking hands with Asuka to officially join her team for War Games. I thought this was a really well done angle. I should have figured that was what was going to happen, but I didn't even know this was going to be the main event segment. I
I thought that we were just gonna get that I Am the Storm cinematic scene with Rhea and Charlotte, and they were gonna call it a day. But I like the angle that they did at the end to get heat on the heels heading into War Games. What did you think, Krssi?
I thought this was done very, very well. Again, it puts more shine because they've been overlooking the girls. So this, makes people want to be more invested in the women's War Games, even though they'll probably go first, as per usual. But hey, what are we gonna do? We can, at least we got a match. And someone feels like a War Games now. You know what I'm saying? So okay, it only took them about a week and a half to 3 weeks before the show to do it. But hey, here we are. But I think they did well. I was like I said, once I saw AJ Lee, I'm like, go help your teammates, sis. Like you just think she's like, what's happening? What's going on? And
what's going on?
Then there's the slow run down, but hey, it's okay. It's But Becky came out of nowhere, so it was great. Yeah.
Chris G, what did you think about all the builds for the men's War Games and specifically Cody helping Carmelo Hayes move on in the Last Time Is Now tournament? A lot of people were happy about that on social media last night.
Yeah, I mean, one, I like Melo. I'm a Melo fan, so it's good to see him get a little advancement in his career, right? So now he's gearing up. I believe he goes up against Gun. Is it Gunther next?
Yeah, he's losing on Monday.
Oh yeah, he's going to lose. Unfortunately,
this is the win to set up his loss on Monday.
That's fine. But maybe they give him some time, and you can see maybe they give him the time like Javon Evans got, where Javon's kind of got himself to prove himself, got the time. We all know what Melo's capable of, so hopefully he gets the time to kind of prove it and win back that crowd a little bit. So hopefully that's a good thing for him. And it ties into the story, right? With Cody just fucking over, Division or one of their members and stuff. Like now you don't got nothing else to focus on. You can focus on me, you know what I mean? And War Games, like you don't got to worry about this tournament and shit. So I like the continuity and the story there. But I'm liking the build up so far. I like what they did on SmackDown. I like when Cody gets fired up and he shows that passion and shit. Like that's what he needs. That's the best Cody Rhodes, the best version of himself. So yeah, I'm glad that we got that. We still have another week to build towards that.
Yep. So
I feel like Cody got his shine now because next week that build is really going to be focused on the tension between Roman and the rest of the team. So, I'm glad. I think it panned out well. I think the build up is going great. So we'll see how they continue it next week.
What about you, Josh? Any thoughts on last night's SmackDown?
SmackDown was really good. I enjoyed it. I like the fact that they're putting focus on where they need to be put focus on, especially with the short time that they have for building up Survivor Series. Because remember, it was like sometime last week when we were just like, they have Survivor Series. Where's the announcement? Where's the teams? What's going on? So I felt like like they're putting focus on that now, and and what makes it easier is that all the people that are involved, they have some kind of storyline going against each other, so that kind of makes it easier where you don't have to do like this long-winded storyline and build up. Where it's like, all right, we kind of know who we're gonna get. All right, this person has a feud with this person. This group has a feud with this group. All right, like let's roll with that. It writes itself.
We got I was wondering that too. Alexa Bliss Gamers is like the meeting was at the same room that Alexa Bliss tricked Charlotte to go into. I don't know why it was cinematic. It just became cinematic. Why couldn't they just do a backstage segment with them talking normally? And why does Triple H not trust Charlotte Flair to say anything other than 4 words? Like it was Rhea Ripley talking the whole time.
Yeah, I thought that was very unnecessary use of like cinematic bullshit. I mean, come on. That's bullshit. You gonna use it for that? That's you blowing your load for nothing. At least use the cinematic when Drew whooped Cody's ass. That'll be more cinematic than that. Like what the fuck?
I would have loved to see that. I would have loved that. Yeah, and we got in the chat. I didn't mention this when I was going over the show, but Rebel Heart is back. DIY got their own music. No One Can Survive and Rebel Heart, and the crowd did not pop at all. That crowd sucked last night, by the way.
No pop.
That crowd
where
was.
are they?
That
Where
crowd
are
was.
they
I
at?
think we're in Denver. They were too high.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say they were all smacked. That's why.
They're like, oh, this show is so good. Oh, music.
Dude, I thought Teddy Long was still the GM.
Is he gonna make a match with the Undertaker?
Taker.
Dion Jenkins says,
I say, we're not the Rockies game. Oh, okay.
Dion says this entire tournament is a farce. Should have just had a Gunther return and get in Cena's face. Dion, I know you watch our content. I've been saying this for weeks. I'm like, why didn't just Gunther? Gunther already retired a legend. You just had to have him come back and be like, hey, I lost the world title. I got to retire another legend to get back to where I was.
Yeah, I was.
My edge again. I'm going to retire John Cena. And then build from there. We are wasting so much time. Great for Javon Evans. Got a great match on the show. But literally, the Javon Evans matchup and Carmelo and Bronson Reed are the only matchups worth a damn from the entire first round of the fucking tournament. Everything else has been a former star returning to get a good pop, to put on a good performance, and just lose like every other bum from TNA.
This is how most WWE tournaments are. Like we get spoiled with like the G1 where motherfuckers are putting on 5-star classics in the first round, you know.
But my whole thing is, like, why in America can we not get a good tournament? You got AEW with their horribly paced women's tag team title tournament, and then you got WWE with this I don't give a fuck here, nigga, damn, last time is now tournament.
Wow.
That is what we are getting on American wrestling television right now.
Well, I mean, at least we're getting to C2 soon, so I'm happy with
thank
that.
God. Thank God. But probably the C2 will be done, and the women's tag team title tournament will still be going on.
That's crazy.
I'm not even going to start on the ROH Pure Women's Championship tournament that started in April. Anyway,
there was the ROH tournament. What?
They have
Still
a pure
ongoing?
women's. Yes, they have a pure women's championship that they can crown that they announced in April. We didn't get a bracket until like September, and the first round is still not over and is November.
Huh?
This is the two companies. This is the two companies we got to talk about. Sheamus is unfortunately not going to be a part of the Last Time Is Now tournament anymore, as he has been pulled from the tournament completely after suffering a shoulder injury. WWE announced on Friday afternoon that the Raw star is not medically cleared to compete due to the injury. As a result, he has withdrawn from the tournament. The announcement reads, breaking news, due to a shoulder injury at WWE, Sheamus is not medically cleared to continue competition in the Last Time Is Now tournament. Additionally, additional information will be provided tonight on SmackDown. They did announce that on SmackDown that Sheamus will be replaced. No word as of yet on the severity of his injury. Sheamus defeated Shinsuke Nakamura in the first round of the tournament. His most recent match was on Raw, where he teamed with Rey Mysterio and John Cena to defeat the Judgment Day. And then on PW Insider Elite reported last night that WWE is considering this name to be the replacement of, not that name, producer, is considering this name to be the replacement for Sheamus, The Miz. Let me repeat that. The Miz is going to be replacing Sheamus in the Last Time Is Now tournament against LA Knight. If you weren't aware, The Miz lost to Jey Uso in the first round of the Last Time Is Now tournament. Sheamus has yet to comment on the injury. On behalf of THH, our best wishes to him for a speedy recovery. But damn, Sheamus, why can't we get someone good to replace Sheamus? Why is the name that gets reported first The Miz?
He's like
No
Italian.
words?
They just call them. They just call them when they need something, and they just
Because
need
they
to
probably
say
saying, here, damn, Miz, you wanted to take part of Cena's retirement tour because you want to brag about a WrestleMania that nobody gives a fuck about that you were in and you main evented it. Go ahead, here's your chance, and look at the reaction. I was kind of, I was laughing when I heard it was the Miz, but man, that's what a wet fart. If that's you. Just send another loser from TNA, like, so we could be surprised and get a pop and then just get it over with.
I would have preferred that.
I'd rather
Or
than
call
bring
somebody
in
from
Joe
NXT.
Hendry. Bring in Joe
Yeah,
Hendry.
what-
Fuck
where's
it,
Joe
let him-
Hendry? Like,
so
why
what if
not?
he takes the L?
Yeah, and then have him lose in 3 minutes again. Like, go ahead.
Yeah, so
Like,
what?
that'd be
Fuck it,
fine.
it's not gonna hurt him.
Yeah, he's a loser.
It's Joe
Anyway,
Hendry. Hey, I believe.
you know, he's a loser. He's a loser.
No,
He's a loser. No, you gotta accept it. He's a loser. Look at Royal Rumble. Look at Royal Rumble. Look at WrestleMania. He's a loser. He's a loser.
Look at Gold Rush. Not much has been heard from
Boy.
Sanros Escobar since he re-signed to WWE in October. And a new Fightful Select Q&A answered a fan question about his status. As noted, Escobar re-signed with WWE after he briefly exited the company for like a day. The company took his concerns about having a creative plan seriously and re-signed him a day after his contract expired. The latest Q&A from the site notes that there's been no word on anything else for him since he re-signed. Escobar was backstage on the October 27th WWE RAW. Escobar is making a quote-unquote very good money in his new deal, per the report. Sean Ross Sapp noted that there may, of course, still be significant plans. They just weren't immediate. Then Sanros Escobar took to social media to send a cryptic message, fueling speculations about his intimate return to television. The 41-year-old wrestler, who last competed in July at a WWE house show in Mexico, posted that he is, quote-unquote, waiting patiently, signaling anticipation for his move within the company. Since he resigned, he has not been seen. His latest tweet shows him wearing the same mask he wore in the picture he posted after re-signing with the WWE, hinting at a possible return soon as fans eagerly await further developments. The star's absence from television has created curiosity regarding his next move. Sanros Escobar's social media post suggests that he may be preparing for a return, but WWE is not issuing any official announcement about his status. Fans monitoring the situation view the message as a possible indication that he could resume on-screen activity soon. So, what would you want to do? What do you think WWE should do, or how should they use Sanros Escobar upon his return to the main roster? Because I don't think that is like an easy answer. Most of the time, if somebody is supposed to be returning, I could be like, oh, they go over here, they go this way, they go that way. Sanros is an interesting person because he wasn't doing anything like that prominent before he left. And then for him to resign, they had to tell him that they have big plans for him. So what do you think they're going to do with him? Chris?
Nothing.
Or you think nothing?
You know, they should have,
So-
you know what they should do? I have an idea.
What?
They should release him because you ain't fucking using him.
What are you doing? I can't with y'all.
Wasn't
You
expecting that.
re-signed this man just to still be benched. What the fuck?
You only made him.
He was
you only did
benched.
that so
He
could
was
just stay
benched.
there. Yeah.
Whoa, whoa,
He
whoa.
was benched. Then he became a free agent. Then he re-signed a day later just to be benched again. What's the
To be-
point?
To be fair, they didn't re-sign him to bring him back. They re-signed him so he wouldn't go to AEW.
Yes,
I'm 100% sure that's what it was. Because the guy hasn't been fucking used yet. You know what I mean? They literally were just like, let's put him on the let's give him a little bit more money, feed him some bullshit about creativity. and then when he comes back, he's gonna have to.
I mean, hey, but
Yeah.
the only thing that proves when you want to say to be fair, you know, the only thing that proves that he's an idiot. Then if he thought that something significant was going to happen in WWE, that's the only thing that proves. He's making money.
Hey, but, you know, he can't be making
he's
decisions
making
like
money.
this.
That's good for him, but he's just an idiot with money. Like, what was the point of re-signing if you're just going to be benched?
Yeah.
He said
he gonna come
took
back looking like
WWE's
Andrade.
Yo,
Yep.
that ass. Jacked up. He said WWE's first ever catering contract. That is wild.
Yo, that's wild.
That is
Yes.
wild.
We got a super chat donation from Vala. Thank you so much, Vala, for the support. He says Santos took WWE's first ever catering contract.
He gets incentives based on the pounds of food that he's eating.
He's like, "Oh, you ate some good chicken and rice
dude,
today."
you know,
Oh,
we don't want
carry across.
$30. We don't want a guy who wants to stay, but hey, let's keep Escobar and just bench him. Yeah, that's a great idea.
If I was WWE, right, it's a good question, right? Because who knows what the fuck to do with him when you try to bring him back, right? But I think he was the most over when he was running a cartel. So bring him back in some type of capacity where he's like that type of character. Throw a couple goons around him. Try to get him a couple credible wins and see where he goes.
well, the LWO is fucking dead. So why doesn't he just recruit his old boys, Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wild, and then put him with Los Garza and have a bigger cartel?
Yeah, go back to Legado. You don't got to be the LWO. You know, it's cool with me.
Yeah, I agree.
It shouldn't have been the LWO. They tried to revamp that, and look what happened.
Shit. They don't even use him in AAA. Like, what does that tell you? Like, you can easily just plug him in there. Just fucking use him. You paying him, just use him there.
That's true.
Matt Cardona has confirmed that he is not signed to a WWE deal, but he's always ready to use his catchphrase if another opportunity comes. It was reported by Fightful Select last weekend that Cardona is not signed to WWE after his return as Zack Ryder on last Friday's SmackDown. He confirmed so on Not Sam Wrestling. He says he is not signed to a deal and not even a Legends deal. However, he's open to more appearances and hopes it happens. He said on his status with WWE, he said, no nostalgia contract, no Legends contract. I signed something. I don't even know what I signed. But I gave them the rights temporarily to make merch. Now, what can they make? I believe that's up to them. Like, I'm giving them the rights to make whatever they want. What are they going to make? I don't know. They've made the 3 shirts, the card. I mean, please make whatever you want, but it's not my choice. On more potential appearances in WWE, he said, bro, I have no idea. You know, always ready. It's not just a hashtag. It's seriously the way I live my life and my career. I got the phone call to do this and I was ready for the opportunity. If I get another phone call to come back to do another one-off, whatever, I'm always ready. I don't know. It was a one-time deal. Could it lead to something else? Perhaps. Hopefully it does. But if it doesn't, just the fact that this year closed off, I think Sean Ross Sapp reported it, in a 12-month period, I've wrestled unsigned, by the way, WWE, NXT, AEW, Ring of Honor, NWA, GCW, and every other indie under the sun, unheard of, unsigned. I will say, Matt Cardona, he is an example of just never resting on your laurels. He's gone places and done things that I did not think was going to be possible when he was Zack Ryder in WWE. All of that to say, that's dumb as fuck to not read what you signed.
First of all, to even say that you didn't read it, that's even dumber. Why would you tell someone that?
Oh, you ain't read it? Let me add this clause.
Let me add this
clause to it.
I mean, it's Matt Cardona. You expect anything less?
Yes.
Like he's an idiot. Like he's another idiot. Like, of course. You know, hey, when I go back to WWE, I'm not going back as Zack Ryder. I'm going back as Matt Cardona. And what happened? He twerked for the
sign my soul to the devil.
He went back as Zack Ryder. He went back at his slave name. Fuck. They're
gonna call him in 3 weeks and be like, "Hey, pal, we need you to job to Santos Escobar upon his return." It's in the contract. You signed it literally 3 weeks ago.
We know you don't know what you signed, nigga.
But it's there. It's there.
This is why Kevin Owens doesn't like him.
He says for a guy who's loving the indies, who's the indie god, he sure does talk about WWE a lot. He does come off very desperate to be back. to fucking say that in an interview after the fact, I would have lied about it. Shit.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, why would you even say something to that type of like? Because now it makes you look even more dumb, and they're gonna be like, "Oh, we could just tell this idiot anything. He'll do it."
He'll come back. He's always ready. I'm ready, guys.
I mean, he does work for TNA, so that should tell you all you need to know when it comes to that
company. Speaking of which, let's talk about all the C-level WWE shows, and that includes TNA. WWE Evolved, the show featured PJ Vasa picking up a win over Callie Armstrong to send a message to current WWE Evolved champion Kendall Gray. Post-match, Chantel Monroe attacked Gray ahead of their title bout on December 3rd. Tate Wilder and Trill London of LFG scored a victory over Swipe Right. You also had Carmen Petrovich beat the debuting Xena Sterling of LFG. And OTM was chosen by Timothy Thatcher to face Presley and Riggins and picked up the win in the opener. Then over in TNA, WWE Total Nonstop Action Impact, you had the show featuring JDC beating Eric Young in the main event to, yes, set up JDC, the artist formerly known as Fandango, getting a shot at your TNA World Championship at the next special against Frankie Kazarian, because nothing sells a Impact special where you can pay $10 a month for a TNA Plus in their live specials like a Fandango versus Kazarian main event.
So I stopped paying for that shit.
John Skyler scored a victory over Myron Reed of the Rascals thanks to interference from Jason Hobbs. Mance Warner defeated Matt Cardona thanks to interference from Steph Delander.
He lost
Matt
again?
Cardona,
Of course.
yes, he did. He went right back and lost. These niggas don't know how to book. You just got the guy who got the big fucking pop in WWE. His first match back. Nigga just loses. Oh my God. This place is hopeless. It's fucking hopeless. Danny Luna beat Indy Hartwell, Mila Grace, and Rosemary, while Zaya Brookside scored a victory over Jody Thread, Color Kelly, and Victoria Crawford for both Luna and Brookside to advance to a singles match to determine who gets a shot at the TNA Knockouts World title at Final Resolution. And then finally, the last C-level WWE show is NXT with NXT Gold Rush Night 1 from Madison Square Garden. Show did really well in the ratings, 650,000 viewers. NXT and AEW, one thing is certainly clear. You make it a special episode, more people are going to watch. The show featured JC Jane beating Tatum Paxley to win the NXT Women's Championship for a second time.
Oh my God, Jesus. Sorry.
Thanks to the culling and Izzy Dame betraying Tatum. You also had Ethan Page and Chelsea Green picked up a win over Joe Hendry and Thea Hale to retain the AAA Mixed Tag Team Championships. Blake Monroe defeated Soruka in a very good match to retain the NXT Women's North American Championship, while Dark State picked up the win over Leon Slater and Javon Evans in a fine match to retain the NXT Tag Team Championships. That crowd was rocking with this match all the way up until they realized Dark State was winning. And then finally, you had Obafemi and Ricky Saints had an in-ring confrontation where they set up an NXT Championship rematch for Deadline on December 6th. Trick Williams came out to interrupt to try to interject himself into the scene, but he was attacked from behind with a steel chair by Miles Bourne to set up a singles match between those two next week. Any thoughts on any of the C-level shows? I know, Chris G, you do your shorts on NXT. What did you think about Gold Rush this week?
The Gold Rush was cool. The only gripe I have with the Soruka and Blake match is the finish. I'm not a fan of the towel throwing situations in any type of storyline. It's just not one of my favorite finishes. I understand what they're trying to do with Sol and Zarya, but I could have did without that piece. And I'm glad to see Miles Bourne, aka Baby Orton, getting elevated into that main event scene, going toe to toe with Trick. So hopefully that elevates him up a little bit more, and we start seeing him, go up against the heavy hitters on NXT a little bit more.
Yeah. Any thoughts on TNA Impact? No, anyone?
Santana's promo was fire. The opening promo was fire. As a Puerto Rican man with daughters, Santana might be my favorite wrestler right now. Honestly, I could stand here on this podcast and say that Santana might be my favorite wrestler right now.
If he's your favorite wrestler, then tell him to fucking leave. Leave the company. Save yourself.
Save yourself. Save yourself, sir.
Put your DMs about, yo, get the fuck out of there, dog. They're making us look bad. Get the fuck out of there.
You like the black dude talking to the dog in the window. We gonna get you out of there. We gonna get you out of there.
I just think that it's a disgrace that this girl is the 2-time NXT champ and Jordynne Grace has still not yet been champ.
Yeah,
What are we doing? What are we doing? Why do we have her leave TNA to be here? What are we doing?
To fight for the TNA championship as an NXT member.
And spoiler alert, she's not winning the TNA championship next week. She ain't winning that either. Oh my God. It's like, just call her up to the main. If you're just gonna book her this way, I'd rather you book her like this on SmackDown.
Yeah, and honestly, because honestly, I haven't really liked a lot of her stuff at NXT ever since she became like full-time at NXT. I haven't really liked it, and it kind of sucks because I'm like, I know she's capable of doing more. I mean, obviously there are some things that, some of the botches are on her, all that stuff, but like you put her in a bad storyline, a dragged on storyline with Blake Monroe, and then, you don't even have no real direction. You know what I mean? Like if this was the case, just bring up to the main roster, do something, because this ain't it. This ain't it.
Yeah, it's just not. It's just not. Like she's been viewed as like one of the best women's wrestlers in the world, and you're just treating her like she's one of your developmental fucking cronies from that that's not getting better. You're treating her like she's booked like that instead of one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. Dion says the best. He says,
I want better for her. I need her out of there. I need her. Yeah, she's being held up. Like I think they're tying her up like Django or something. I don't know, but we need to like really get her out of there. Because it's doing her no disgrace. Put on SmackDown.
In the other dog shop, in the NXT dog shop, like Jordynne Grace, we gonna get you out of there.
We have to like put her on SmackDown. They need someone on SmackDown. Like let her go against like Jade or something. Like I don't know, but like her being in NXT is not doing her any service.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Dion. He says call Grace up, give her the US title, hold open challenges like Dragunov. It's not that difficult.
That's great. It's really not. It's very, very simple. But here we are yet again doing bullshit. Like, and Homegirl's been there almost a year and a half now. I could have sworn they would have called her up as fast as they called Stephanie, and she got there before Stephanie.
No, Stephanie was signed with the company first. She appeared first. Jordynne Grace appeared on NXT first, but Stephanie signed with the company.
Look at where Stephanie at and look at where Jordan at. That's all I want to just. That's all I'm just trying to like. Julia, same thing.
Who's getting booked better, Julia or Jordynne Grace? I actually think that the answer is actually Jordynne Grace.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Shit.
It's actually Jordynne Grace. If you want to make Jordynne Grace run look good, just compare it to Julia's on SmackDown. As previously reported, TNA Wrestling has been shopping its media rights for a new broadcast television deal. Now, according to a new report by the Takedown on SI, they had an update from John Alba, which included an update on the deal that AMC Network have emerged as possible new broadcast partners for TNA Wrestling. Apparently, John Alba reports that per TV industry insiders and sources, AMC has emerged as a potential landing spot for TNA. The network is best known for its hit cable TV shows, including Breaking Bad, Mad Men, and The Walking Dead. However, AMC has never aired wrestling programming before. Back in 2014, there were briefly rumors of AMC acquiring WWE and merging with it, but they were said to be unfounded. A potential deal with AMC, however, could bring more eyeballs and attention to the TNA brand. According to last year's industry estimates, AMC is available in about 60 million homes, which is double the amount of homes for TNA's current partner, Access TV, which is said to be available in more than 30 million homes as of 2023. AMC currently has no affiliation with WWE. It was recently reported that both A&E and the CW also emerged as potential broadcast partners for TNA. The CW airs WWE programming in the form of NXT, while A&E airs the WWE Superstar Sunday block, airing such programs as Biography, WWE Legends, WWE Rivals, and WWE LFG. TNA Wrestling currently has a strong co-promotional partnership with WWE in the form of NXTNA, which is still ongoing. Meanwhile, AMC, it currently falls under the AMC Networks umbrella, primarily owned by Nick's owner, James Dolan, and the Dolan family. Dolan is also the executive chairman and CEO of Madison Square Garden and MSG Entertainment, which he owns both New York Knicks and the Rangers. Other networks that fall under the AMC Networks umbrella are BBC America, IFC, Sundance TV, and WeTV. It's unknown how a possible partnership between TNA Wrestling and AMC might alter TNA programming or their partnership with WWE, or if TNA Impact might have to begin airing on a different night. We had the previous report earlier this year that WWE was looking to have TNA start airing on Wednesday nights to go head-to-head with AEW. So I heard of him, good authority. You know, I work at Sports Illustrated, so I did talk to John Alba, and he has been very adamant this whole week. He really believes that AMC is going to be the likely landing spot for TNA Wrestling, and despite all of our disagreements or all of our negativity towards the TNA product at this point, they seem to have they seem to be on the 5-yard line of this deal. So what do you think how do you think it's going to impact, pun intended, TNA to be on a network like AMC? And do you think they can move up and potentially become a bigger company in the world of wrestling and be in the same conversation without laughter following it with WWE and AEW? Krssi?
It will probably bring more eyes to it. But again, the product has to be something good enough where people will want to be enjoying it. Besides, like the non-wrestling people, fans, regular fans are going to watch regardless. People, subscribe to them. But if you have something where it's like on AMC, which is not a bad channel at all, they do have great shows over there. If you have it where it's like running daily commercials, running things where people are like, oh, okay, maybe I will tune into this day on Thursday or wherever they're going to have them go. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it has potential for them to do. I mean, listen, you sign your rights, you sign your life over to WWE. They're going to help you get something.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. WWE
you sold your soul, so you're going to get me something out of the deal, I guess, for selling my soul.
WWE will push them across. They're the offensive linemen pushing the running back over the yard line, regardless of how badly TNA is tripping over their own feet on the 5-yard line. So we'll see what happens. You have any thoughts, Chris?
For the sake of time and because this isn't a basketball podcast, I'm going to put my bias of James Dolan to the side and look straight. Because I didn't even know he fucking owns AMC, so I'm automatically inclined to be like, this shit is gonna flop because it's James Dolan. And life as a Knicks fan has taught me
that's the Knicks owner.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I didn't know
This is the perfect partnership. Badly owned wrestling company with merging with a cable company that has a bad owner.
I'm gonna trust.
I didn't even know that he owned
Santana's future.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Nah, I didn't know that either.
Right. That's
and I wish
like
I didn't
news.
know that.
Yeah.
No, James Dolan bias side, right? AMC, this is a completely change of pace for them because AMC is known for putting out these classic shows, Walking Dead, Breaking Bad, just to be 2 examples, right? That being said, AMC has the potential to captivate or capture a casual viewer.
Yes.
because of the success of those shows. So I
Right.
think this is a great move for TNA. You're already doubling your exposure just by the amount of viewers or households that this program is in. AMC got an app too, so it's easy to get on AMC content, even if it's, you know, on demand and not necessarily live. But that's still a good thing for Impact if it's going to be on AMC as well. So I think this has a, with like what Krssi said, with the proper advertisement around it and with that WWE engine kind of, you know, pushing a little bit, this has the potential to become a more casual viewer based program, not in terms of like how they structure the storylines or structure the show, but just their exposure to people and viewers that are going to be on AMC. So I think this is a great thing for TNA. I really hope it goes through because it's going to help the growth of wrestling.
Yeah, I think that if people are expecting them to go on AMC and get like Dynamite numbers, then you're overestimating this. If people are expecting them to go on AMC and get AEW Collision numbers, I think that's closer to the reality. But if you're expecting them to go on AMC and get WWE LFG numbers, which they were getting like below 100,000 viewers weekly, I think that's closer to what TNA can try to strive for and try to aim towards with this deal. But we'll see if they complete it in before the end of the year or by Genesis next year. We'll see. But we got in the chat Dion with basically saying the words that Josh's face is saying. He says, I doubt TNA gets this deal without Big Bro WWE to give them a little boost.
A little boost, yeah. And they're gonna have a bunch of WWE characters go over there to help probably with their first premiere night.
I mean,
like a crossover episode. Woo!
I just kind of.
I will say, you guys were very generous. I will say that you guys are very generous. Like the shit you've been watching TNA on TV, you think that's gonna get like 300,000 people to watch? Absolutely not.
No,
AMC should not do this deal at all.
They're gonna get below 100,000.
I think they'll do better than access numbers at least. I will say, just a thought though, just a thought, and this is me, I guess, having some faith in TNA. If this deal is possible and it's coming with it, if this deal is possible and it's on the horizon and it's coming into the next 3 or 4 months, kind of makes sense taking off the title of Santana if you want to have him reestablish himself as the champion going into that new era, and he is the like. That starts that new AMC.
They'll probably have Santana win back the title on the premiere.
Yeah, like or something like that. So I could see why they would take the title off of him on some bullshit. But even though I don't agree with it, I'm sticking up for TNA.
Please, TNA took off the title off of him because they're on bullshit no matter what. It's TNA.
That's TNA. True. I was trying to give them the benefit of the doubt.
but then also like that will guarantee that Santana stays.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's the only thing that I can think of. But it's like, I don't know. Like, I mean, will they get the deal? I mean, it'll be good for TNA because they'll probably, you know, they find some suckers to give them some money for a TV deal. I just don't think it's gonna pan out the way that they think it's gonna pan out.
We'll have to see and wait and see. Final news note from WWE or WWE level shows. The NXT star Javon Evans has come a long way since making his WWE debut in November 2023. The young OG went one-on-one with two-time World Heavyweight Champion Gunther in the first round of the ongoing Last Time Is Now tournament. That was Javon Evans' first ever match on Monday Night Raw and is fully deserved. Within a short span of time, the 21-year-old has impressed fans as well as experts with his physical agility inside the ring, and it seems that the company is quite high on him as well. According to bodyslam.net, Bodyslam Plus, the WWE top brass is quite impressed with the young OG, with multiple executives believing that he is not just the present, but also the future of the company. Evans has received immense exposure in recent months. He has wrestled 3 times on Friday Night SmackDown, including against Sami Zayn for the U.S. Championship. Apart from SmackDown, Evans has also wrestled in TNA, famously challenging Leon Slater for the TNA X Division Championship at Bound for Glory in October. Later that month, he teamed with Slater to take on Triple A's Mr. Iguana and La Parka in a winning cause at NXT Halloween Havoc. So Is Javon Evans just going to be another person that has to wait till they're 30 to win a world title? He should
40.
win it while he's in his 20s. He's only 21. Come on, what are we doing?
We established this on I think Monday. That in 19 years from that date, when he turns 40 years old and he wins his first championship, that's when he'll be on top.
I was say, did you guys say that there's a thing where they don't like to have like young like winners, except like Randy Orton was the last young one that won something?
Yep.
And he's like in his 40s, like his late 40s now.
Yep. It's been 22 years or 21 years since somebody has broke that record, which was Randy Orton.
Indeed. But this is the world we're living in, folks. Credit Boy Chronicles. That's quite the name. Credit Boy Chronicles. That's Triple H. That's going to be the Triple H documentary. Credit Boy Chronicles.
I mean, WWE ain't they ain't never gonna have faith in their YNs like at this point. That's all I gotta say.
They should have just let me call Braun Breaker a YN, and we could have got one of them with a world title.
I mean, that you see that fade, you got a YN fade.
No, look at that lineup. Let him and Krssi Luv stand next to each other. Come on.
Remember when he was in NXT? He was like when he was in NXT, he was definitely going to Dominican barber because
we were saying that every week. We were saying that shit every week.
Him and Lexus King.
He was getting the fake lineup beard. Remember, like the paint on beard. They do that in Dominican shops. Like he was getting all that stuff, and then he was getting the fake tan.
Yep, we were saying that shit every week on NX3.
All right, I see. It is what time is it? It's TikTok time. It is time to get into TikTok time. I had to put it in the middle of the show because you guys were so confused when I didn't put it in the middle of the show last week. So I put it back in the middle of the show.
No, you put you put it at the end because of JJ last week.
Oh yeah, I did. You're right.
That's what happened.
Right. But I put it back in the middle of the show for the fans. But since you guys enjoyed us grading every WWE and AEW signing on last week's show, we're turning it back and we're bringing back our gradings for this time every current WWE and AEW champion. We're going to start with the WWE, and we're going to start with undisputed WWE champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Now, what we are grading on is not the quality of the wrestler. We are grading them on how they are as champion and how their current reign is going. So, Josh, we'll start with you. The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, our champion. What grade are you giving?
His current reign, easily a C.
I'm gonna go C minus. It's been quite disappointing, honestly. It's been kind of flat. It started off well. He put on a match of the year candidate with John Cena, and he had a great match with Seth Rollins at Crown. But the prime feud of this whole thing has been Drew McIntyre, and it's just felt like a flat feud the entire time. Krssi,
it's been one-sided.
Cody,
I'll give it a C. Only because
C
because I'm not gonna give it lower or higher. I think it's just like very average. You're barely passing. You're very minimal, very minimum. You're doing good, but you're not doing bad. You're just like you're skidding. This is where you're at right here. So, yeah. I mean, like the feud, like the only thing that's been like good is like the Kevin Owens and Drew, and not even like the first part of the Drew feud.
But that's not this feud. That's not this reign. Kevin Owens isn't this reign.
That's right. Yes, it was the first one. Okay, so C. Okay, then maybe C minus then. Okay, fine.
That's why I went C minus, because I'm like, it's just really the Drew feud. It's two matches. It's two great matches.
And he won.
A Drew feud.
And when did he win the title?
This has been going on since September. This feud has been going on since September.
This feud started immediately after SummerSlam, so that was in August. It started.
That's August. That's even worse.
Yep. Chris,
okay.
What you giving Cody?
I was gonna give him a C plus just because I like Cody, but you know what? You guys make compelling arguments. we're gonna have to stick with the C right in the middle, just average.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like it's bad. Like, sheesh. I like Cody,
Most
but
of the
damn.
chat, most of the chat agreeing with us.
B+.
Except for Power
The
Driver
fuck?
Finisher. Power Driver Finisher says B+. He says, I'm not saying he's the biggest draw for me personally, but the company does rely on him a lot, and he's not overwhelming out of the ordinary, but he is still one of the most entertaining things. He was entertaining on last night's show. I'll give you that. So, I guess.
B+ for this current reign? B+?
That's
What's B+ about it?
Can I say
That's
something?
heavy.
So if it's not like something that have to do with like his birthright or something like that, then are we saying that Cody is like kind of like boring?
It's higher
Oh, yeah.
for me
That's cool.
because Dirty isn't that entertaining for me. How does that fucking make any sense?
Because WWE is not that entertaining for him, and he finds Cody entertaining, he gets a higher grade. That's what he's saying.
That's bullshit. But he hasn't been like his reign hasn't been that great in general.
No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. And I think he missed the part when I said we're grading him on how he is as a champion and how his current reign is going. I think the B. If I'm gonna take the B+ seriously, I think he's grading it more on Cody. Like he said, the explanation he gave us is him grading it on just Cody as a performer instead of Cody as a champion.
I mean, if you're just grading it as Cody as a performer, that's different. But come on, like this current title, we got to call it like it is. And I'm a Cody guy. We got to call it like it is.
Same.
The fuck?
World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk. Chris, what you giving him?
I mean, it hasn't really been much to it yet, right? I feel like hasn't really been anything about him being champion. It's more just during his reign, just kind of building up to what we're going to see on War Games, because he's just been beefing with the Vision since he got the belt, which all kind of ties into before he got the belt. I don't know. It's like a question mark. I don't think there's enough to grade his reign yet.
I'm gonna say B for what we've gotten so far. He's gonna be in the main event of the next pay-per-view, where it is Team CM Punk on a team that includes the WWE champion Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. I think he's in a pretty good spot, so I'll put a B on it.
I'm about to say he hasn't really been able to do anything yet. He literally just won, but then it's been clouded because he has to now do this whole War Games thing. Like it's not like he was able to like do a whole different angle with someone else because they put him in the whole War Games. So yeah, I think B is a good grade right now because he hasn't been able to even really showcase or have any like feud yet.
Josh?
I'm going to give it an I for incomplete because right now
Here we go.
he hasn't been doing nothing with the title. Like it is good, like like the War Games team, like I mentioned earlier. I was like, he's the basically the team captain. That's good for him. But as far as like the title reign itself, since he basically just got the belt, and then all them people he cut in his promo, like, oh, I want to face this person and that, like he hasn't faced none of them, not even close, and he ain't gonna face none of them. But as far as like we're being fair in the title reign itself, I mean, as far as him being there, being shown, I mean, that is like good, but hasn't done much with it, and it has nothing to do with him. It has to do with creative because they're building up to War Games.
WWE Women's Champion Jade Cargill. Krssi, what you giving her?
Incomplete.
I would give her a B+.
How?
We're grading it on how they're presented as a champion and their reign. If their reign is too short to grade that, I feel like y'all are focusing too much on the reign of it all, where like you're not really grading it on how they are a champion. CM Punk got the title, and he is positioned as a bigger star than Roman and Cody. That's a B. That's at least a B. That's not an incomplete.
Okay.
That's him as a champion. A B.
That's incomplete for me.
But part of being a champion is the title defenses.
But I can't grade the reign because it just started. So I grade him as how he's
okay.
presented
So
as a champion.
That's why they get the good eye. They get the eye.
Jade Cargill as a champion. She's a heel. She's finally being presented how she should have been. That's a B+.
Okay, fine, fair. You're right. She hasn't even had a defense yet. Maybe she had one, and that was like a squash match. That was like 2 minutes. So she beat the shit out of B-Fab, but that's really not really nothing to compare anything to because
I mean, that's, I mean,
there. But anyway, what I'm trying,
you beat me, yeah. Not much, right? And it wasn't even a title match, from what I know.
right? That's okay. So then you can't even count that. That's true.
It wasn't.
It wasn't even. Damn. Okay.
So that's even more funny.
I'll give her okay, but she's presented as a big star. She looks dominant. She's a better heel than a baby face. Let's just keep it as that. We definitely should. She's all over social media. Like she can win on social media with no issues. So I would okay. So then SP is kind of right. I would give her. I wouldn't even say B plus. I would say she's a B.
Yeah, you're probably right. B. I was just happy that she's finally what she's supposed to be. Kris,
I'm gonna go B minus because if we're bringing in the presentation and all that factor, yes, I totally agree. But the fact that she hasn't really defended the title much and that plays into her as a champion, I'm gonna bring the grade down to a B minus. But Cody Rhodes is back to a C plus, baby. Because he's still presented as the cat, you know what I mean?
That's true. That's true. That's true. True respect. Josh.
I mean, all right. So I'll change my grade to with Punk. I'll put it at a B. Jade, I'll put at a B, just because like we've been getting what we've been kind of wanting from Jade. Right. And he's been cutting some good promos. Some like that bitch promos. That's good. That's what we've been wanting. So I would say a B, but a B for sure.
WWE Women's World Champion Stephanie Vaquer. Kris.
Oh, B plus. She looks like a star. She's presented as a star. Her match has been fire. She's like, she has this fucking like aura around her that you can't really explain.
Oh God, not that fucking word, please. Not that word. Not that word.
The vibe.
Yo, Josh is a hater, son. I thought I was bad. No, he's like.
She got a vibe.
Has nothing to do with her. Is the word. I'm talking about the word. Like everybody fucking the word is so run down at this point. I blame Romeo for that. I blame Romeo for that.
B plus, maybe even A minus. Damn it, Romeo.
Krssi. Oh, Krissi's frozen. Josh.
Oh shit, she is frozen.
She got frozen smiling.
I'm gonna give her okay, so there we go. Oh, see, I'm still okay.
There you go.
I would give my right. I would give Stephanie definitely a B plus.
Yeah, I think B plus.
Yeah, B plus is it like anytime she comes out, everyone is like popping for her. Like she looks like a star. Like she comes out, she's oh my God, that shit with Nikki Bella. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
You notice I didn't even mention that when we talked about Raw. But yeah, Stephanie Vaquer. Stephanie Vaquer, deserves a B plus from me. Josh,
I'll say a B plus. I mean, I wish they were doing more of her as champion instead of like not this Nikki Bella cycle. Plus, yeah.
WWE Intercontinental Champion John Cena. Josh.
Really?
I mean, hasn't been much, but I would say. I mean, part of me wants to say an A just because I was excited off of it, but then it's like that'll be a bullshit grade if I'm giving him an A. That's the problem. Like I'll be bullshitting you guys, and I can't lie to you guys. Okay. I'll go with a B.
I'm going with a B. Kris.
I'm giving this man an A. It's John Cena, man. This is
first. You see that? Look at that. You see, that's why I didn't want to do that. You see, because of people like Kris. You see that? You see that?
It's John Cena, man. You give him all the flowers that he's getting. All right. Realistically, it's like a B, right? It's John Cena. He brings obviously eyes to the IC championship.
Yeah.
Like, so he hasn't defended it, and he's probably going to lose it to the guy he beat in a couple of days. So
speaking of John Cena, right? I got this LI figure, right? From Target, right? I ordered it, right? However,
It was
they made-
broadcasted on
they-
TV the other
they-
day.
yeah, so they made a mistake, but it's a
What'd
good
they do?
mistake for me and stupid on their end. They send me a second one, right? And they send me the Chase one too. So now they send me 2 John Cena figures, and I only ordered 1.
Nice.
Wait,
Doc,
what's the difference
More
between
Cena
the
for
two?
you.
Just the cover.
Oh, okay.
One's black, one's blue.
Nice.
Well, Krssi, what you giving Cena? Intercontinental title.
I'm giving it a B plus.
All right. That's good for John Cena. U.S. champion. That is Ilya Dragunov. That's my first A. I'm giving it an A.
Hey,
Oh, I'm about to say
hey,
the same
That's
thing.
an A for me. That's an A for me.
A's across the board, man.
A's
If you
across
don't
the
give him an
board.
A, you're a liar.
That's what you gotta do. Just bring his ass out, what he's good at, and put on a banger, and that's what he's been doing.
Exactly. He's been the highlight of SmackDown every week. WWE Women's U.S. Champion, Chelsea Green. Krssi.
B.
I'll start. Oh, B? I'm going with C because they just don't put her on TV. They just stick her
Oh, they
backstage.
don't put on TV like they used to when she was first champion. So yeah, then okay. If we're going based off this current one right now, C plus.
Kris.
I'll go C plus because whenever they do put her on TV, she always delivers.
She's
So
magic,
and whatever it could, whatever role, whatever capacity, she's entertaining. So I wish I could give her a higher grade, but she gets C plus.
Josh.
She's a C because they got her paired up with Ethan, which is not a bad pairing. But then you kind of almost forget, like, oh, what's the U.S. title? Oh, Chelsea's the champion. What happened to Julia? Oh, wait, she did beat her in 2 minutes. All right, yeah, I forgot. Chelsea got the belt. Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion, Maxine Dupree. I'm going D minus. Josh.
I'm gonna give it a D. The fact that people are excited for this shit, I don't know how you be excited for this.
I'm about to say yeah.
Krssi.
I'm only giving her this grade because of the way they booked her and marketed her. They did something for crowd reaction, and that's what they did. So I'm going to give her a B. Do I stand behind her winning? No.
She gets a C just based on the reaction and the moment. I don't think it gets farther than that though. Being generous.
Yeah.
Say right people in the chat. Chase.
D minus. Jesus, Chase.
That's what I'm talking about, people. WWE Tag Team Champions, the Wyatt 6, D.
F.
Josh.
Oh, D. They're not even fucking shown on TV.
Kris.
I just remembered they were champions for the first time in a
they
month. So we're going D. Yeah.
WWE World Tag Team Champions, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. I give a C. Krssi.
C plus.
Kris.
I want to give it a B minus because of the potential that they have as a tag team.
We grading on potential.
No, we're not. That's why they're getting this, like a C plus. I want to give them that, but I didn't give them that. I'm giving them a C plus.
Josh.
He's a potential. We don't grade on potential. We grade on what the fuck we seeing. Now I've been seeing a C.
Seems about right. And WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, the Kabuki Warriors. I give a B plus. Josh.
I would actually say a B plus because they've been presented on TV every week, and like it's just a good pairing for Kylie and Asuka. Like every time they get the titles or every time like they're presented, they're always doing something. Because even when they were tag teams, even before all of this, before Kyrie left the first time, they were kind of like a thing, and then they've been a thing again. So I would say B plus.
Kris.
I'm going A minus because this shit brought some life back into the women's tag team titles. I feel like now they're actually shown and they're held by, not to say Charlotte and Alexa aren't a credible tag team, but like you already know how I feel.
Solid.
Your line.
They were solid. Charlotte and they were solid. I mean,
Yeah, they were putting on great matches too. So
yeah, they were
Yeah,
solid.
it's
That was a solid.
it-
that was a solid pairing
storyline.
because it was better than anybody expected it to be.
I mean, I like the Kabuki Warriors. They got the history, they got the chemistry
Yeah.
already, and I mean, they're in War Games. They look dangerous. Asuka's been just washing people up every week, so I like it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him an A
And
minus.
then Kyrie's in an abusive relationship, so I mean, it's good.
Yeah.
great
Got
story.
it.
Chrissy,
I'm
Chrissy.
giving him an A. I'm giving him an A. They've been killing it even when before they had the belts, and now they have the belts. They're even better. So I'm giving them that they deserve an A. So that's the second A for me today.
There we go. We might as well run through the NXT champions as well. NXT champion Ricky Saints, I give a B. Chrissy,
B minus.
Chris
B plus. That last man standing match was kind of cool.
was.
True.
Josh,
Yeah, it was.
I would say solid B.
NXT Women's Champion GC Jane, I will give her a B minus. Chrissy,
Can't stand an F.
Chris,
Never was a fan. I'm not gonna go as harsh as Chrissy, but I'll give it a C.
Josh,
Probably go B minus.
NXT Tag Team Champions Dark State, C minus. I'm only giving them a C minus. I'm being generous because Shawn Michaels loves them way too much. So they're presented well as tag team champions. Josh,
Like a D plus because they fucking suck in the ring.
Chris,
C. I want to believe in them one day. Today's not that day.
Chrissy,
That's how I believe in
F.
one day. Like that's crazy.
F.
NXT North American Champion Ethan Page. He's my only other A from WWE. Josh,
Solid A.
Chrissy,
A.
Chris,
A for sure.
and Women's North American Champion Blake Monroe, B. Finally seems like they figured out Blake Monroe. Chrissy,
B minus. No, B plus is
Right.
fine.
Chris,
B plus. I like what they're doing with her. Like you said, they're finally turning the corner. Yeah, good things on the horizon for her. B plus.
Josh.
I'll say solid B.
All right. Let me take a deep breath because we have 47 titles to go through. It's time to go to AEW. AEW World Champion
Are we doing
Hangman
all of
Adam
them
Page.
across the page? Oh, I thought we were just doing one.
AEW, just doing AEW. We're not doing ROH. AEW. AEW World Champion Hangman Adam Page, A plus. Chris.
Yeah. A.
Chris.
A plus. Cowboy shit.
Josh.
A plus, just because I feel like this reign has kind of like not only showed it's been better
It's been way better, yeah.
presentation wise, but he feels important.
Mm.
AEW Women's World Champion Kris Statlander. I'll go B minus. I might go up to B plus if she wins tonight. Chrissy.
I'm gonna go B plus.
Chris.
I say B for now. I'm kind of on the same boat with you, SP3.
Josh.
Solid B.
AEW World Tag Team Champions Brodito. I'll go A minus.
Ah,
Josh.
A for me.
Chris.
I'll go A. They surprised the shit out of me when they first became a tag team. So I like what they're doing. They've really developed some cool chemistry.
Chrissy.
I'm going. You know my love for Brody. I'm going to go A.
AEW World Trios Champions, the Ops. I will go B minus. They're presented better as heels. Chrissy.
Yes. Sorry. Yes, they are better as heels instead of the good guys trying to be, cool. They just need to be like badasses. I'm gonna give them a B.
Chris.
B plus, 3 tough motherfuckers. They're scary all in their way. I don't want no smoke. B plus.
When I heard Shibata talk the other day on Wednesday, I was like, "Yo, this nigga right here." I was like, "Yo, let him talk more often, son."
I'm gonna go. Oh, I'm gonna go with B minus.
AEW TBS champion Mercedes Moné, A. Krssi.
A plus.
Chris.
A plus.
Josh.
A plus.
AEW TNT champion Kyle Fletcher, A plus. Josh.
A plus.
Chris.
Can we call him the shoe-in for most improved wrestler of the year? Or was he that last year? Because this man,
I think he was that last year. He's more going to be probably one of my picks for breakout star of the year.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, that's a better one because this man, he just looks like a star now, and then he's gonna give you crazy in-ring work, and hopefully you got to pray for him he doesn't hurt somebody else or himself.
Come on, it was only that one person. Come on,
he's almost.
Come on.
Well, like he's just physical, man.
Dustin Rhodes also had to get knee replacement surgery. It's two.
Well, I mean, but Dustin's like 100 years old.
He's like 100. No. The proto star counts it. I'm going to count it too.
I mean, hey, he's like 100 years old. Dusty's like 100 years old.
A plus plus.
Who told that old man to still wrestle?
Krssi.
I'm gonna give him A plus 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 plus.
A plus plus plus. Love it. And then we got AEW. Oh, am I forgetting something? Oh,
probably.
Yeah, I know there's one title. AEW Unified Champion Kazuchika Okada. I will go B plus for the majority of the year. He did have stints where he was on. I'm only going to give you a D level effort, so that's why I will go B. I'll go B to B plus, but I'll lean B plus. Chris.
I want to give this man an A plus, but he's fucking lazy sometimes. So we're gonna have to he's me.
That's the only reason.
We do work when we want to. So give us the B plus. I'll take it. Yeah, that's Okada.
I feel like Okada's the one that's gonna get the most different grades out of all the AEW champions. Josh.
With Okada, I'm still gonna give him an A, just because he's proven. Like, even though there's those times where we kind of, we had that running joke of like, oh, what's the give a shit Okada meter? Like, what was his level? Was he 8 out of 10 tonight? Was he 9 out of 10? So you have those moments where you still know that Okada at any given moment, he could still give that top-notch performance. And he's done that several times this year. And, he still has the title. It's been how long? We're talking about long title reigns. I'm pretty sure Vala's like hates that because it's over a year. Look at that. He's been champion for almost 2 years. Look at that.
Yep. So that is all of the AEW WWE champions. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Krssi. I'm sorry. My bad.
That's okay. For Okada, I'd give him a beach.
You said a beach?
Beach. That's how you say it, beach. It sounds like beach, but it's beach.
It's funny. So High Spot. So
Mm-hmm.
next weekend he's gonna be at WrestleCade, right? So they did like these custom photos that he's gonna autograph, and there's one where he's posing, that he's doing his Rainmaker pose, and the back it says bitch, like the background says bitch.
Absolutely. How's it shit? All right, so we're gonna do the other game we were gonna do next week. We'll do the King of the Hill for 2025 pay-per-views and PLEs next week's show, because we got to get into AEW, into the Converse. AEW Collision last Saturday is where we'll start. They did 219,000 viewers. The show featured Bandito, Juice Robinson, and Jet Speed beating FTR and LFI in a pretty fun 8-man tag team main event. You also had Mark Briscoe defeated Mark Davis in a battle of the Marks, in a solid bout, as Mark Davis was going after Briscoe to soften him up for Kyle Fletcher. Meanwhile, Kyle Fletcher picked up a win over Scorpio Sky to retain the TNT Championship.
Post-match, Fletcher and Davis jumped Sky until Mark Briscoe made the save. He cut a promo on the champion ahead of Full Gear. Ty Mello scored a victory over Taya Valkyrie in an MXN casting call.
Say that.
What happened?
She looks better with darker hair. Just want to, just say that.
There you go. Post-match, Marina Shafir attacked Ty until timeless Tony Storm made the save and delivered the Storm Zero on Marina. Alex Windsor and Riho beat Maya World and Hyan. Post-match, timeless Love Bombs sent a message to Windsor and Riho ahead of their first-round matchup in the AEW Women's Tag Team Championship Tournament. The Death Riders were out to rebound from their loss in Blood and Guts with a win over Jay Lethal, Adam Priest, and Tommy Billington in the opener. Post-match, Pac issued a challenge to Darby Allin for a singles match at Full Gear. Meanwhile, you had Jon Moxley join the commentary for the show. After a video was shown with Kyle O'Reilly bragging about the Blood and Guts victory, Moxley snapped and issued a challenge to Kyle for any time, any place to face him or the Death Riders with the conglomeration, and we would see how that would develop on the 3-hour special this week of AEW Dynamite and Collision. Dynamite 2 hours did 491,000 viewers, while the 1 hour of Collision did 322,000 viewers. The show featured Mercedes Moné adding another belt to her collection as she became the undisputed ROH Women's TV Champion in a very good main event against Red Velvet. Post-match, Moné attacked Kris Statlander at commentary and made her tap to the statement maker. On the Dynamite portion of the show, Hangman Adam Page beat Katsuyori Shibata in another very good bout. Post-match, Hangman cut a promo warning Samoa Joe at commentary of what he did the last time he was inside of a steel cage. Kazuchika Okada picked up a win over Masquerade Dorada in a double Jeopardy matchup. Now he, Hechicero, and Konosuke Takeshita challenge Dorada, Neon, and Mystico for the CMLL World Trios Championships on the Tailgate Brawl at tonight's Full Gear ahead of the pay-per-view main card. The Timeless Love Bombs picked up a win over Alex Windsor and Rio in a good match, while Marina Shafir and Megan Bain scored a victory over Ty J for both the Timeless Love Bombs and the duo of Marina and Megan to advance in the AEW Women's Tag Team Championship Tournament. They'll meet in the semifinals. It was also announced, for some reason, the 4 semifinalists will compete in a 4-way tag team matchup, with the winner choosing the stipulation for their semifinal matchup at tonight's Full Gear. Bobby Lashley made quick and easy work of Ricochet in the opener, while his tag team partner, Shelton Benjamin, defeated Speedball Mike Bailey in a very fun matchup, which had a sick bump at the end of the matchup included. Jon Moxley and Katsuyori Shibata, Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli of the Death Riders picked up a win over Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong. Post-match, the Death Riders attacked the babyfaces until Kyle O'Reilly came out and made a beeline for Moxley. He attacked him and made him tap to the ankle lock once again. O'Reilly then got on the mic to challenge Moxley to face him one-on-one, no holds barred at Full Gear. And finally, the Young Bucks and Josh Alexander beat Skyflight in a fairly decent trios matchup. Post-match, you had Don Callis family try to convince Matt and Nick Jackson to join the group, which only brought out Kenny Omega, making his return to Dynamite. Omega fought off the Don Callis family. He went after Josh Alexander for attacking his friends. The Bucks pulled Omega away from Alexander, which created an opening for Alexander to go after his leg and apply the ankle lock, until Callis wanted Matt and Nick to prove themselves by giving them the EVP trigger, but Jurassic Express made the save ahead of the $1 million trios matchup at Full Gear. This 3-hour special, there was some good on it. I thought a lot of the wrestling on the show was good, fairly good. Nothing great, though. And I just thought that the booking and the follow-up for Blood and Guts was fucking piss poor. And the pacing of the Women's Tag Team Championship Tournament is even worse than that. Krssi, what did you think about Dynamite and Collision this week?
after what they did last week, this was a hard show to like follow up. But I mean, it wasn't it wasn't good and it wasn't bad. I think it was like very like in the middle, if that makes sense. I give it like a C-ish for the show. But I was like, oh shit, it's 3 hours today. I was like, okay, let me finish watching. I hate that, when you're watching it on Max, like you got to go out and then go back in and watch the next one. Like, just let it keep playing. Like, it's like, I know it's two different things, but like, I'm on the app already. Like, why I got to come out and just like.
Just have it at one thing.
Right.
Just have it at one thing.
As one whole thing. Like, it makes no sense because then you miss stuff. Like, oh, this program has concluded. I know it's concluded, but it's still playing because they still on air, nigga. Like, damn.
Just make it a 3-hour Dynamite. What's the difference?
That's right. I think that's what it is. And then you just like, just say it's just Dynamite. Collision is just not being on because we're going to have our show on Saturday. But it is. You can make like the pre-show like Collision. I don't know, like how they used to do on with WWE and Heat. You know what I'm saying? Like Monday, Sunday Night Heat. You know what I'm saying? But can we just give a big shout out to Mina and Tony for their choreograph entrance? No one talked about that.
I did enjoy that. I don't know if it was the right time to do it, considering how we last saw them in the Women's Blood and Guts.
Right. Yes, true. But I still enjoyed it. I was like, yes, come through with the choreograph and the matching outfits. Let's do it. Like, this is a tag team. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though they didn't win, but hey, whatever.
They won. The time
they did win. Yes, they did win. Yes. But they're gonna lose because Megan Bain and the other girls probably gonna win the belts.
Who knows?
I mean, maybe. I think Tony and them should probably win, but who knows? Whatever. Let's see. It's taking God long forever.
Chris G, what do you think about the 3-hour specials on Wednesday?
I mean, it was mid.
It was mid.
Considering Full Gear stay, they could have built the show a little better, or it should have been a better go home show. It felt mid for a regular episode of Dynamite / Collision. The fact that it was a go home show just made it feel even more a little flat. So hopefully that gets erased tonight, which it will, because AEW's always put on banger pay-per-views.
Yep, all the time.
So we'll forget about it, but it is hard to follow after a week. We'll like give it fuck it was all right. The pay-per-view was fire, but it is hard to follow up after a week like Blood and Guts. So,
yeah. Josh, what about you?
I thought the show was okay. I do agree that for a go-home show, it did kind of feel flat. Just because usually when they do these go-home shows, there's a build of urgency of going into the pay-per-view. There were some parts I didn't feel that, but there were some things I did like. I did like the opening stuff with Bobby and Ricochet, because Ricochet was hilarious, especially when he got thrown. Like, I thought it was a nice touch to have him, like, he was speaking on the microphone, and then for him to stay on the microphone while Bobby like chokeslammed him outside. So you got to hear the whole thing. He's like, Bobby, let go of me, and then he fucking screamed when he got thrown. Like, that was some like great like little details that I liked about that.
We need to make Ricochet a champ by now. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, this is like Ricochet, his best work. Him and his whole crew need belts. Like, give them the trios belts at this point. Like, come on.
They should. Yeah, they should, especially when they come out with them one-piece jackets.
Yeah.
The matching jackets.
The matching jackets and the capes, they're great. They're just good, dumb heels. It's so good.
But I did like the Sheldon and Speedball match. That was a fucking banger. That was a banger of a match. I just got kind of I did question the finish just because I think Speedball got knocked the fuck out.
No, he didn't. It's been reported.
He was good.
I told everybody. I literally told everybody. I was like, no, I literally said it on AE Ramble. I was like, that kick was so gnarly. They wanted to call the auto. They wanted to call the pivot and say that was the finish, but the referee didn't know that was the finish. Like the report was.
Oh, so that was nice.
Yeah, I'll get into it.
I'm saying. I mean,
Shelton,
that was nice. That was nice then.
Shelton Benjamin and Mike Bailey's match on this week's Dynamite had a rather awkward ending to it, and a new report basically explained why. The new report notes that there was a miscommunication in the finish of the matchup. Wednesday show saw the two compete for the number 2 spot in the Casino Gauntlet at tonight's Full Gear for the AEW National Championship. The finish saw Benjamin go for a pin after a super kick. The referee stopped counting despite Bailey's shoulders not being down. Despite his shoulders being down, excuse me. The match finished shortly after that with another super kick. Both Figure 4 Online and Fightful Select report that miscommunication led to the flub up. The Benjamin attempted to call an audible, believing that the super kick looked good enough for the finish. However, the referee didn't hear him and thus didn't count the pin. Despite speculation online and otherwise, Bailey was not concussed on the super kick and was completely fine. In fact, he wrestled on last night's Arena Mexico show.
That's good. I mean, and I just
no,
thought
it's not. That referee fucking sucks. I like Paul Turner, but
no. I'm saying Speedball. I mean,
call the match like a shoot. Call the fucking match like a shoot. Don't be like, oh, you're not supposed to lose here. Let me stop. No, count it.
No. I know. I was saying that. I was like, no, it's good that Speedball didn't get a concussion. I didn't think he got a concussion. I just thought he was knocked out. That's what I thought it was. But I mean, again, that was a weird finish when it came to that, just because I was like, oh, what the fuck just happened? And then I thought the kick was good enough for a finish. Like that's what Sheldon does. He does. That's what he does. And I thought they should have done that, but it still made Sheldon, like, it made him look fucking dominant. And I feel like in AEW, they've done a great job at that, where it was like, hey, we want Sheldon to be utilized better. And then now when he goes to the AEW, it was like, oh shit, like he looks like a fucking
Star.
like he looks like not only a star, but like somebody who's like not like more than credible. And that's what we've been wanting from Sheldon. So I did like the fact that it made him look good in that aspect. But the finish, I mean, again, like it was pretty weird. I just don't like situations being put, like, I mean, obviously you're on live TV, it's on the spot. It's very tough. Like all that shit. Like that's why I would never want to be a ref, because I doze off, I space out. So I'll be terrible at being a referee.
Not everybody can. And the go home shows have kind of been like hit or miss for AEW. I really feel like they haven't had a great go home show since All In. Like all the builds have felt like just short of getting you like really, really hyped for the show. They've had great shows. Like I thought Forbidden Door was very good to great. I thought that All Out was tremendous. I thought that Wrestle Dream was really damn good to great. And I feel like this show tonight will be great as well, especially this will be my only pay-per-view I'm going to live this year, so I know I'm going to enjoy it. But they did not hype up this show to make it feel like it's a must-watch AEW pay-per-view. And that's the part that they kind of struggle at. They make this was a decent show. Like I was complimenting the show on the Dynamite Fightful post show on Wednesday. In the moment, I liked the show, but I did have a bunch of injury. I had a bunch of rants on that post show about the blood and guts follow up. Why is Jon Moxley wrestling on this show? What the fuck? Like, why are we not hearing from him? Why can't hear from him after he lost blood and guts? Why do we need him to wrestle? Why do we need all the women coming out of blood and guts need to wrestle? This was a horrible. Dion said it nicely. He said not a great follow-up to blood and guts. No, it was a fucking horrible follow-up to blood and guts.
Yeah, because when
you undermined both blood and guts matches literally the next fucking week.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then also you kind of undermine the shit that's going on with Mox. Like he lost multiple times. He's been tapping out like a bitch. Why is there no like explanation to that? Like something has to be done when it comes to that. And I obviously, like, I kind of do see like the turn happening as a matter of when they do it, but it's like, why is that not even being acknowledged? Like this man tapped out at All In. He tapped out against Darby, and then he tapped out in Blood and Guts. That has to be followed up. Like that has to be mentioned. Like there has to be like some kind of segment, whatever the case may be. How is that being mentioned. It's just, oh, we're gonna get a match with Jon Moxley, and you know, I think that's something that they need to like really clean up. Whereas like there's a story there. The story is that Mox, you know, obviously something is going on that he keeps tapping. He taps out quick. It's not like it's so there's a story there. I just think they need to do something that you have to acknowledge that has to be acknowledged, especially within the group, that you have to show you cannot be our leader anymore. Like, but I don't know.
That's why they should have done
weird
a
to me.
promo. You got to do a promo on the show where you can even just do vague teases of like the Death Riders members as Jon Moxley is talking in the ring are making faces like, oh, we don't know if we can trust him anymore. Like, you needed a promo. This was the right move to do on this show, was a promo to follow up the Blood and Guts to set up the Kyle O'Reilly matchup at Full Gear. I didn't need a 12-minute matchup where you tell me, oh, Moxley's been losing a lot since All In, and then he fucking wins. So the finish didn't even fucking make sense. And then he has the weakest fucking ankles ever. He's just tapping out as soon as fucking Kyle O'Reilly touched his ankles. Like, I'm just like, what the hell was that? I was so upset about that.
He got the Skatebo. He got the Skatebo ankle. That's why.
Oh no,
not the Skatebo ankle.
And Baby Steph, our producer, saying they do that after every grueling matchup they've had this year, and they do kind of do that because they had Moxley and Hangman wrestle on the Dynamite after All In, after the Texas Death Match. But like that one, I was upset about it, but I wasn't that upset. I'm upset with this one specifically because they showed us how you can do it properly, because they always want these guys to wrestle after these fucking violent matches. Like Moxley wrestled right after he lost the I Quit match, but they did that the right way, where they gave him a promo before he fucking wrestled. So you can't do it the right way and then turn around and a few weeks later and do it the wrong way and expect me not to say anything. I'm more upset.
And I think he lost that match too. And he lost that match too because he didn't want to quit.
That was the Kyle O'Reilly match.
Yeah, and he didn't want to quit again, so he got himself disqualified. In this essence, not only he didn't have a promo, he had a match and he won the match. So it was like, all right, like what are you doing now?
It's like, what did that accomplish? Okay. A new report had details because coming off the heels of Collision, there was some negative feedback to one of the results. In particular, the Marina Shafir and Megan Bayne matchup getting the win over Ty J. And there was a new report about one of the participants in that matchup. That new report is on Anna Jay, as her contract with AEW is reportedly expiring in the relatively near future. Fightful Select reports that the Ty J member contract is believed within the company to be expiring the next few months. The report notes from a source that they expect AEW to attempt to retain Jay under contract. There is no word currently on whether contract talks have begun. The report also notes that Jay is said to enjoy teaming with Ty Mello. However, she is also open to doing what's best for herself career-wise. That includes potentially exploring free agency. Ty J was part of the AEW Women's Tag Team Championship tournament. They lost to Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir in the first round on Dynamite. This result garnered some negative feedback from a minority of fans frustrated with the only legitimate team in the AEW Women's Tag Team title tournament being eliminated first. Anna Jay has been with AEW since she debuted at All Out 2019. She officially signed with the company in April of 2020. Krssi Luv, we'll start with you. Do you think Anna Jay should re-sign with AEW? And if you don't think that, where should she go?
I think she should stay where she is. Don't go anywhere. Because you can't. I mean, there's TNA, but like that's WWE. They're not gonna take you and not take you at NXT. So, like, yeah, just stay where you at, girl. Yes, I know you want better, but like, I mean, you can try the indie scene, but like, I think you should just stay where you are and know what you already know what you know, or whatever.
Chris, what do you think for Anna?
She should stay in AEW. I don't think she'd be like that much of a like upcoming name or anything that you could just plug into a TNA and just like get her to be a big face of the division, or even if she was to go to WWE, it would take some time for her to get into the NXT and kind of break through in that barrier. Like she's not up to that point yet. I think she should stay in AEW and just build on what she's got going, and then I mean, there's still a lot of room for improvement. She has a credible name within that company. Might as well just keep building her brand in.
Josh, what about you?
I think she should stay in AEW. More so because if she goes to TNA, I think going to TNA will be a downgrade when it comes to financially. That's a downgrade. Obviously you go to, and then if she goes to NXT or WWE, she's probably not going to get the amount of money that she would want. So financially, she probably should stay in AEW in regards to that. But then also it's about her accomplishments. In AEW, she has gotten better. Like I do feel like when she went to Stardom, I do feel like that helped her. So I think she should do more of that if she has the opportunity of doing that. But when you look at her resume compared to like other people that they signed, when Blake Monroe went to NXT, she was the champion and she was in a prominent storyline that built up her stock. Anna Jay hasn't been in that. Like she hasn't been a champion. She hasn't done that stuff. So I think her stock will be a lot lower because of that. She's obviously she has looks. And I think that's appealing, but it has to do more than that. So I think she should stay in AEW based off of that.
Yeah, I think the best move for her is if she is going to re-sign with AEW, she needs to do it where she is using the opportunity to go on the indie scene. Like Marina Shafir was not that good when she first came to AEW back in 2022, but she went on the indie scene. She wrestled for Wrestling Evolver, for Defy. She got the attention of Jon Moxley, started working with Jon Moxley outside of the ring, and of course she got her big break with the Death Riders. She needs to do that. Megan Bain. This girl is working AEW tonight and then getting on a plane to go back to Japan so she can work Stardom. Like, you gotta be able to kind of find the right schedule where you're able to go to Japan and get those reps in. That's all Anna Jay really needs. She needs more reps. She needs to wrestle more. She's been wrestling for 5 years. She only has 150 matches.
Yeah.
That's 30 matches a year. That is not enough to get better.
No, it's true. And, and that's why I think and I think that's why she should stay in AEW. Obviously, she has a lot more, their stock there. And I'm pretty sure they do like her because, she is willing to do certain things. So I think that's why she would be good for the brand, like to stay. Again, if she goes to like NXT, WWE, we kind of know the kind of contracts they offer. And it's like, if I'm able to work more and then make more money, I'm gonna take the money. And obviously, but even if it's based off of WWE is my dream job, I don't think she has the leverage to even go there to be a prominent name like Kris. That's why I think she should. I think that's why she should stay.
And I wish ROH was viable because she'd be the perfect person for a place like ROH where she could get the reps and get some type of push as well. Diapello saying Ty J was the most solidified team in the tournament. They were also the worst in-ring duo.
Damn.
He said the quiet part out loud because I tried to tell people. People were very upset that Ty J lost, and I'm like,
I don't understand that. I didn't understand why people were upset.
I literally got into a back and forth on Twitter with somebody who's a big Ty J fan that was like, they deserve to be there. They've been a team for so long. They deserve it. I was like, wrestling is not a thing that's about deserving of anything. It's not a thing that's about seniority. It shouldn't be about that. It should be about who is the best, who is better. Who is the best should be the champion. That is what wrestling is all about, and that's what it's ever been about. If you're going to simulate a sport like wrestling's supposed to be, that's what it is. It's not about, this guy's been on the Udonis Haslam's been on the Miami Heat the longest. He's the GOAT, right? No, fucking
No.
Dwayne Wade and LeBron James were better than his ass. What the fuck are y'all talking about?
Yeah,
Nick,
also
Bosch
my,
is a better
my thing is,
right?
like, like it's just crazy to me because like when I saw the outrage, I was like, I was just like, I don't understand the outrage. And then somebody on Facebook like ran on a rant about it. And as soon as I said the right team won, the person says, "Oh, I know." Like they calmed down, but then I'm like, but you also got to understand, like, it's fucking Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir. Like they're two badass women. If they would have lost. No, if they would have lost, guess what? They're still going to be complaining. Why? Because people want more from Megan Bayne. Like, oh, Megan Bayne, they presented her as this big monster. Why is she losing in the tournament?
Mm-hmm.
It would have been the same shit. So I'm like, no, the right team won because you're still establishing not only a badass team, but then you're keeping one of your signings strong. Like you're keeping Megan Bayne strong, and I think they do make a good team. Shafir and Bayne, like that's a fucking badass team. Like, what are we doing? What was the complaint?
People just like to complain. We do have a super chat from Thad Palo. Thank you so much for the support. Good to see you in the chat. We haven't seen you in a while, so it's good to see you in the last couple of days, brother. He says Megan. He also says Megan shouldn't even lose to them in a handicap match. Yeah, I had some people who were trying to. I had some people who were trying to convince themselves, oh, if Penelope Ford didn't get injured, then Ty J would advance. I was like, I don't even think that.
What?
I think
Megan
Bayne is on that team. So Megan Bayne is probably going to win.
The team. She will carry the team. Like Penelope will take the bumps, but Megan will be the one that will be dominant. That will take the wins, and that's why, that's why I'm saying like her being paired with Maria Shafir. That's it. You just created a badass team right there alone. And to me, again, it doesn't make. I get the outrage where people are like, "Oh, that they're." I'm like, there's a lot of people in wrestling that they're fucking deserving for a lot of things, but that's not how you should look at things in wrestling. Unfortunately, it is what it is. You got to look at it as what makes sense at the moment. What's going to be right. It is what it is, and I do like both ladies. I do like Ty J. Like I do like both ladies, but. You're telling me that was going to be the team that's going to knock out Bayne and Shafir? No, you can't convince me that.
You know, a lot of wrestling fans like live in fantasy worlds.
This is true.
They don't live in like the real world, or like they think
their wrestling should work like their 9-to-5 job, where seniority is fucking something that they take into account before a promotion.
I mean, how many people we know in the business that have been in wrestling for 20 years and they still suck ass? Like that.
Quite a few.
I'm just saying. Hey, I've been wrestling for 20 years. All right, bro. What have you done in your career? Oh, what the fuck? I don't give a shit about that. It's good. You've been doing it for as long as you have, but do shit that makes sense. Like do shit that's gonna make sense in the moment. Them winning Megan and Shafir made sense. It made sense for me. And I just don't see that as a big deal.
AEW president Tony Khan had a busy week. He's had an interview with Ariel Helwani this week to the surprise of pretty much everyone. He talked about and he revealed that WWE never approached AEW about Adam Copeland appearing during the John Cena farewell tour. In his retirement tour, Cena has wrestled and referenced some of his longtime rivals, much to the delight of the fans. Amidst this, fans have been yearning for the unseen 17 to lock horns with one of his greatest rivals ever in Edge one last time. Amid his current absence from AEW television, rumors of Adam Copeland's contract expiring before the end of 2025, completely made up by fans in their fucking heads once again. Some even hope that the earnest that Edge might show up on WWE TV despite being signed to AEW. In an appearance on the Ariel Helwani show, Tony Khan revealed that WWE never even approached him about using Adam Copeland. He says, no, I mean, you never say never in wrestling because I would imagine they could always extend that date past the end of the year. But no, Adam is going to be here with us through the year. And Adam Copeland is a huge part of AEW. I have so much respect for him. And I really, really like Adam Copeland a lot. And I'm glad I have him here.
He's away filming right now, but he's with us. He's with us 100%, and he's going to stay with us for a long time. In a recent appearance on the Ariel Helwani show, he also was asked about his current relationship with Chris Jericho. Khan said, Chris Jericho is somebody who is in AEW and has been with us from the very beginning. He's been away from us for a bit. He is somebody that's had, even this year, great matches with Bandito, somebody that's a world champion for us and was really at the beginning of AEW, absolutely as key and instrumental as any individual in the launch of AEW. And I love Chris personally and professionally. I just reached out and wished him a happy birthday recently. I'm very excited about everything Chris has done in AEW, and he continues to be with us. That didn't sound very confident. When asked if the learning tree will ever return to AEW, Tony Khan then said, I can't speak to that, but I love having Chris in AEW, and he's always welcome. The door is always open for Chris to come in. Oh, he's definitely leaving. Tony Khan was asked on the reason behind Chris Jericho's current absence from AEW. He said, it's a very good question, and some of it comes down to just working out the dates. And Ariel said, is his deal almost up? He says, I would rather not get into that, but I respect you asking about it. And if I could, I'd give as much information as possible to try and keep a constructive dialogue. I hope so. All I can say. I absolutely hope we'll get Chris Jericho back. A star like Chris Jericho, you negotiate a certain number of dates, and Chris has always been very great and being one of those wrestlers in AEW that when he is in, he is all the way in. And if you think, he's always really been a full-time part of the show. At first, when we started, we talked about finding ways to, with Chris and Fozzy, his band, to keep him involved because he was such a central figure as the original AEW World Champion, as Le Champion. He goes through a whole litany of history with him, with Chris Jericho and AEW, before he says, we started out early, like, okay, how do we find ways to, keep Chris involved if he needed a week or two off? And then pretty soon, Chris was just here every week and wanted to be here every week, and we loved having him here. So if we can work out all the dates and all the things, I would always love for him to be here. But he's one of my favorite wrestlers, and certainly he's as instrumental to the launch of AEW as anybody. Keeping on the streak of stars we haven't seen on AEW television in a while, Tony Khan also addressed Andrade. He was asked about Andrade's status in AEW. Tony Khan refused to get into exact details, but he did say the doors of AEW are always open for the Mexican star. He said, I had a great experience with him, and he left on the best of terms. And now he said he was free and made his one-night appearance. I was thrilled to see him again. And anytime he is free, and whenever that is, he is absolutely always welcome in AEW. I can't speak to that. It is an interesting situation that I am going to keep an eye on. But I absolutely think the world of Andrade El Idolo. Tony Khan then also addressed Britt Baker's status and extended absence from AEW television, where he said, Britt Baker is somebody that I love and respect. She's also been with AEW from the very beginning. She's been away at times for health reasons, and she's had some injuries. I'm just looking for the right time with Britt, and I've had a really good talk with Britt, and who I really, really like. I think Britt's a great person in and out of the ring. She's so impressive to have somebody that went to medical school and earned their degree, has practiced and also has wrestled at a high level and juggled all these things. I think it's really impressive. And as somebody who juggles a lot of jobs and a lot of work, I respect Britt's work ethic a lot. And she's also a great wrestler. So I would love to have Britt back in AEW, and Britt is going to be back in AEW, and I hope soon. Notice he did not say that about Chris Jericho. But it's going to be the right situation for her and everybody else, everybody involved. I want to make sure she's 100%. That's important to me. I really care about the health and well-being of all the wrestlers. And in Britt's case, I think she can come in and still be a huge part of AEW, and I expect she will. Final topic to go on here. He also talked about WWE counter-programming. He was asked about the counter-programming matter, and Khan said, I do think it is done on purpose, and I understand it. It's part of wrestling. I think we've seen a lot of it, and I think other promotions that have been challenger brand in our lifetime have seen a lot of it. Jim Crockett Promotions, which was the front runner to WCW, saw a lot of this, and Jim Crockett Promotions ended up having to sell the company to Ted Turner, who then made a great run. So it's interesting because as a challenger wrestling promotion, you've got a great opportunity, but it's really hard. It involves tons of investment to build up to be a true, strong challenger. And that's why we took the risk with AEW when we did. I do think that we've seen that kind of counter programming and those things. And I understand, and looking back at wrestling history, I kind of expect it. On whether it bothers him, he says, I think it's okay because for us, it's always worked out and we're in a great position. So it's never been a thing where it cost us anything. Facts. Not taking it personally, he said, no, it's very interesting. I think it's something that's a part of wrestling business, and I definitely don't take it personally. I think it's no personal to me than it was to Jim Crockett, or maybe less than it was to Ted Turner, or similar amounts as it would with Ted Turner. But definitely all of us have seen that kind of counter programming and could speak to that. And certainly with AEW, I'm proud that we continue to run strong and be that great challenger brand in wrestling. AEW is where the best wrestle, and I really believe that. Since they were talking about WWE, of course, the matter of CM Punk then came up, and Khan talked about his departure from AEW and airing the footage of the fight backstage at All In. He says on if airing the footage was a response to his interview, to Ariel Helwani's interview with CM Punk, he said, no, not necessarily. I didn't necessarily agree with everything that was said in that interview about how things happen, but also it's a TV show and it did a very strong number. And for so many reasons, I think it made sense. And it was a thing that was advertised. It got a lot of attention and it did a very strong number. On Punk's comments about how it happened, he says, I think the tape spoke for itself. I think that it didn't agree with how it happened. Obviously, it was a major part of why things were no longer able to continue with us, even though I would have liked to be able to. And it's clear that I wanted to reconcile and do those things. On if Punk's arrival in the WWE boosted them, Khan said, really for us, we've had a great run for 6 years. And if you look at the time before Phil came to AEW, we had a great run and we're having great times together. And we've been a great run, and we're having a great year right now with this roster. This is the best roster and the best AEW locker room has ever been. And feels in and out of the ring, the combination, this is the best we've ever been. On Punk claiming that he lets people walk all over him, Khan said, I don't agree with that. He says, but I also think that everybody is entitled to their opinion. And that's feedback, that's fair. If that's how he feels, but I didn't agree with the description of the way things played out, and that's okay. That's all in the eye of the beholder. Just like the whole situation, if you see the way it came out, it was all in the eye of the beholder, and that's okay. This is like the most mature Tony Khan has ever looked or felt. I felt like I was watching one of my nephews go to graduate from college. And like, oh man, you've really grown up now. You really came into your own. Like, you stopped doing all that stupid shit, all that partying and taking drugs. You actually look like an adult. That's how Tony Khan sounded in this fucking interview. Chris, what did you think?
You like an adult? Oh my god.
I don't know, man. I think he finally put that white girl down and thought logically and not emotionally. He wasn't shaking and shit and getting aggressive.
What's this white girl?
Calm. I'm not going to get into specifics. I don't incriminate myself on camera. No, but honestly, this is the best like PR friendly Tony Khan I've ever seen in my life. So it's a good thing going forward. Hopefully he can conduct himself and not get as emotional and keep his Twitter fingers to himself and shit. So I like it. I want to see the CK more.
He hasn't in a long time. That's good for him. And that's what he needed to do.
That's growth. That's growth as a businessman.
Let's not lie to the people, Josh. It's just been 2025. A long time is kind of too vague.
No, I mean, a long time for him. A long time for him because he never lasted like 2 months. So this is a long time for him. It's been like almost a calendar year.
Yeah, it's 2025. It's been a good year for him. Krssi, what do you think about his comments on everything?
Again, he must have like spoke with his team before he went out and was prepped for these answers, because it sounded very prepped and had like the good answers. Like he didn't go out there and like say, hey, yeah, no, I don't really give a shit about none of these things. Like this is what we've been asking for Tony. Like someone needs to be behind him to make him look good. He has to have a proper team, PR team that makes him like, don't look like the one that's always that's losing, if that makes sense. Like, so I think this was done very well for him. Again, shocked that I don't know how much this cost to do or whatever. Like the money behind this is probably like really, really big, but hey.
I don't think it was any. I mean, if any money was exchanged, it's Ariel to Tony, not Tony doing anything.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, no, Tony, no, yeah, Ariel. They had to pay Tony to do this stuff, not the other.
No, I don't think that's right. Yeah, because Ariel has been like very when he does interviews, he doesn't pay people to do interviews.
Okay, so
he's never paid anybody, because when he's doing a lot with the UFC, there were guys who wanted to get paid and he would expose them for that.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay, well, I think Tony looked great. He did a good job. Nobody really gives a shit about Chris Jericho, so that's just one thing we don't have to worry
about. I mean, all Tony's prepared answers about Jericho told me was he's leaving. He's definitely leaving. Like,
that Tony was like, okay, go ahead, go do your thing, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, he's like, I love him.
He wants to come back.
He
can come back.
Right, because Tony will let him come back.
We would love to have him back. We would love to have him back. We got Oh Nutty who says that cross question and his reaction was hilarious. Tony ain't messing with it. Yo, Ariel was trying so badly to get Karrion Kross the job. It was kind of embarrassing. It was kind of embarrassing for Kross and for Ariel how much Tony Khan was not with it.
Yeah, as much as I like Kross and I respect the shit out of Karrion Kross, Killer Kross, it's just too many of his interviews. When you're mentioning about how you want to go back to WWE, you kind of shoot yourself in the foot when you do that. So, as an owner of a company, how can you trust that person? You know what I mean? Like, if we give you a contract, how do I trust you if you're going to end up staying? So, it is what it is.
Yeah, and I disagree with this comment. Dion saying TK was dodging questions like Neo in the Matrix. The only question he really dodged was anything that had to do with legal matters. Like he wouldn't go into detail about Andrade. He wouldn't go into details about Jericho's contract status, which I don't think that's dodging questions.
Yeah.
That's rightfully not answering questions that you're not allowed to answer. That's not dodging questions like Neo. You want to see TK dodging questions like Neo? Watch the first Ariel interview. That's him dodging questions.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I didn't agree with that comment. And then he was like, let's not treat TK like a child. We're not treating TK like a child. The thing is that for so long, Tony Khan has been in these situations where he doesn't conduct himself properly. So we actually respect that he did that. This is what we kind of want Triple H to do. That's all it really is. And you want to talk about people treating people like children. How about the fans that treat Punk like a fucking kid? How about that? He's pushing 50 and they treat him like a child. Oh, he didn't do nothing wrong. He's never done anything wrong. That's treating him like a child.
I've always been taught by my mother, you should treat people the way they act. And Tony Khan had been acting like a child. So that's why we were treating him like a child. So, Dion, I don't know how you were raised, to each his own, but I'm not treating him like something that he's not acting like. So we got Top Fellow with a super chat donation for us. Thank you so much, Top Fellow. I appreciate it so much. You got Top Fellow who said need Tony to keep his wear the best wrestle gimmick up and stop talking about Britt and Jericho. He can't stop acting about it if he's blatantly asked about it.
Yeah, he was asked about it. I think it's different. Like if you just bring it up on your own and you want to talk about it, I think that's a little bit different. But if you're asked about it, then what can you do? What you're gonna dodge? You're gonna not answer the question? He was asked it, and even Ariel did something. Hey, I'm gonna give you some names, and I want you to give So he gave him some names and he spoke about the names. I don't see a problem with that.
And Dion he says, I listened to it. Ariel would ask a question and TK would start changing the subject. No, that is not what happened. Ariel asked him 2 questions. I literally named a question. You need to tell me what other questions besides those 2 he was dodging and would change the subject for. But if you think that his answer is changing the subject, no, that's just how Tony Khan talks. Tony Khan can't just answer the question of, do you want Chris Jericho back in AEW? He has to go through the entire history of Chris Jericho in AEW. That's not Tony changing the question. That's Tony answering the question. You just think that is changing the subject because that's how this weird mind autistic child works. Or autistic 43-year-old man, because you don't want me to treat him like a child.
No, same. Yeah, I mean that's how we because you remember before I even watched the interview, we were in the group chat and they're like, oh, you might have to get used to him saying great a lot. And I was like, well, I'm so used to him saying, hey, tune into Dynamite Wednesday night at 8 p.m. I'm like, I'm used to that. So he was doing that. He was promoting AEW. He was promoting Dynamite and his answers. But for the most part, I mean, even Ariel gave him credit. He was like, yeah, he answered the questions that I gave him. Like the interviewer himself. The interviewer himself said that.
Yeah, no one is getting out of dodge. I'm just telling you because you had another response to the question. I'm not taking it personal at all. I'm kind of laughing at you, honestly. I'm telling you, if you got more than the 2 questions that I brought up that you think that he dodged that, please let us know in the chat. I could be wrong, but I actually listened to it as well, and I actually covered it for Sports Illustrated. So I had to take down every fucking word this dude takes. So I kind of have PTSD. If you're bringing up that he dodged the question, I'm like, no, he definitely did it. I wrote down every word.
Yeah, and then a Dade question, I mean, that's obvious. He can't go into detail into that because that's a legal situation that if he mentions anything, WWE easily could use that against him in the legal matter. So that's why he couldn't really answer that. But he did speak about Andrade. He did say that the door is open for him. So obviously TK wants him back. That's all you really needed to know.
Yeah, because like you said, if Ariel's saying he didn't dodge any questions, if Tony doesn't feel like he dodged any questions, if multiple fans, if I talk to 100 fans and 95 of them say he didn't dodge any questions, and then there's 4 anti-AEW fans who say he definitely did. And then there's you that says, I think he did too. I'm sorry, I'm going to believe the 95 over the y'all 5.
And everybody praised it. SRS praised it. A lot of the big names in wrestling media praised the interview. So, I mean, that's what we wanted, But then it's because these 2 individuals had a standoff. These 2 individuals, they had... It was public. It was on, even on Twitter. So the fact that they even got together, like the fact that Tony Khan even agreed to that, to do it in person, I mean, that's a big step up. And then you might not like how he talks, Tony Khan, because believe me, we all know that he's weird. He's weird in his own way. But that's how he responds and that's how he answers. I think that's something you have to get used to. When it comes to certain people. Some people talk a certain way, like Triple H, he talks a certain way. The only difference is that when Triple H was given criticism, he just, he didn't really conduct himself professionally, in my opinion. But when he's praised, nothing is wrong. Nothing is ever wrong when he's praised. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so you got. I apologize for instance. I'm like, why SP3 so spicy with this? Now I know. The one thing that will get me spicy in any chat of any show I do is when a comment tries to tell me something that I know is not what happened. Like that. Don't tell me. Don't spit in my face and tell me it rained. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Please don't tell me that. Don't tell me that.
I think it's more so like the fact is like, we're not stupid. And I think they keep really thinking that wrestling fans are really stupid and we don't see or know like what they're doing. I really think that.
And then no, but I'm talking about the comments in the comment section. But it's basically, I don't want wrestling fans to feel to get that, to have that type of perception. And I know Dion is one of the good ones out there. So I don't want him to fall into the trap. Don't fall into that trap. That's why I came off as spicy.
During a recent interview with the New York Post Sports, Kris Statlander, AEW Women's World Champion, discussed her short-lived heel run with the company when she was managed by Stokely Hathaway last year. Statlander indicated that she would have liked things to have been done differently with that angle. On if she'd like to play a heel, on how the heel turn ended abruptly, she said, "Yeah, for sure." She says, "I definitely think that there's things that I would have done differently, but sometimes I wasn't alone in that. And when you're not alone doing business, you're not always the one making all the decisions, and everything has to be a team effort and whatnot." So I feel like that's, everyone does things differently when they are in charge of everything that you do. But when you're working with other people, you have to accommodate for other people and work with other people. So I definitely think that going back to it would be a lot of fun. And for some reason, people keep thinking that I'm flip-flopping every single week, and that's not true. I've been trying to make a name for myself and make amends ever since that ended. And I can only be forgiven by those who think that I deserve it, and not everybody thinks that. So I will always be in an odd standing with some people. On her surprise title win and how it came off, she says, "Yeah, I prefer when fans don't know what's going on in wrestling, because that's how it should be. They shouldn't expect to know everything. And honestly, it ruins things when people look for spoilers or they look for answers, or it's frustrating from when people say that wrestling is bad because it's not what they want it to be, or it's not the outcome that they want, or it's not the finish that they imagine in their head. And they think wrestling's bad because it's not what they said it should be. When they are not wrestlers, they are not doing what we do. They just like things that they like. That's what I think is the most incorrect way to watch wrestling. You don't know what you're not a fan of if you hate things just because they're not what you want. That's not how it works. So I am very happy that I was able to kind of shock the world in the way that I did. On being sick of having to prove her worth as champion, she says, first of all, I just want to say I'm sick of having to try and solidify my standing, because I had to do it with Toni Storm in the first one. Now I have to do it with Mercedes. She says, and I don't know how me holding the belt and me being the champion is not solid proof as it is. So I wish people would stop questioning my worth, my value as a champion, because I am the champion. I've been a champion before. It's nothing new for me. And I am very happy to, like I said, rain on her parade. And if I am the catalyst to her downfall, excellent. I'm honored to be the one to do it. So shout outs to Kris Statlander. We'll see if she wins tonight. I'm not going to hold my breath, though. It's Mercedes. You got Hyan and...
Well, she done won the other belt. I think they're trying to do something like when she won the ROH, when I was like, yeah, she might be winning on Saturday. I was like, damn, like what are we doing right now? Like,
no, I don't know.
I hope not, but
I see what's gonna happen. You know what's gonna happen?
What?
Statlander is gonna win.
Okay.
And then Mercedes is going to spiral and then lose all her belts. That's what's gonna happen.
I like that.
I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Right, I like that.
I thought that was gonna happen after she lost to Toni, and she just added 5 more belts. So.
Right, like, and especially like her contract stuff too, like we spoke about with last.
No, at that time, I kind of knew they were going to build more of that, just because like I knew about her bookings. But now it's like, damn, sis, you got how many belts? 14. So you telling me she gonna win 10 more year after she lose this one? I don't know.
That's just outrageous. That's just ridiculous at that point.
I think at this point they're just trolling. I think they're trolling.
It seems like Hyan Maya World might be getting some interest from AEW, according to a new report. Fightful Select reported over the weekend that praise for Maya World and Hyan following their recent appearances has continued, and AEW has a lot of interest in continuing to use them. The outlet reports that the 8-minute matchup on last Saturday's Collision was a direct result of how they handled the previous week when Nixon Noel and Miranda Alizé walked out and they filled in for them. Hyan and World are not currently signed to AEW. However, sources indicated that they wouldn't be surprised to see them signed sooner rather than later. Both stars have made appearances on AEW and ROH before the incident. They have both appeared on ROH and AEW in a handful of matches. Finally, someone that we might not see in AEW anytime soon is Adam Cole. He was another subject that was brought up during Tony Khan's recent interview with Ariel Helwani on his show. He hasn't been seen since All in Texas. Ariel Helwani brought him up and asked about Cole on Adam Cole stepping back in the ring. Tony Khan got very emotional and he said, "That's hard. Adam Cole, I love so much. I think Adam Cole's such a great wrestler, but also he's a really good friend. And it's very, very hard when I got the phone call the morning of All in Texas that Adam Cole was not feeling well. And he's had injuries. It's no secret. Some of the injuries he's experienced have been head injuries. It was terrible when Adam Cole had the ankle injury and he needed time to recover. It was just, you don't want to see him in so much pain. But also it could have been that alone and could have been a career-ending injury. And he was out for over a year and he came back from that. He was wrestling at such a high level. I was really excited about what Adam Cole had done in 2025 to work his way into top position and become the TNT champion. It was a great comeback story, and I'm just glad he was able to tell us when he didn't feel good about wrestling anymore. On Cole possibly wrestling again, he says, "I think it would have to be the right situation from Adam to wrestle again. I think it's at least possible that we would keep Adam as part of the family, but I want to get to where he feels good about traveling and doing things every week again. I've been open with him that when he's ready, there's always a role in AEW for him. He had been a commentator at times, and he's been one of the hosts of the shows. He's great at that. He's a great talent. He could be involved in a lot of ways, and if he ever did want to wrestle again, and it was the right situation, and everybody could wrap their heads around it, so to speak, I think that could make a lot of sense. But anything involving head injuries and serious injuries, I always want to look at it and evaluate. Mm-hmm. So does this make sense? Is there an opportunity to do this safely where it's going to be a good outcome for everybody?" So that did not sound good. No. That sounded like
that sounds really sad.
He might be thinking he might be in Bryan Danielson at the beginning of 2016 mode. Not even Big E. Big E has not retired. Big E is still considered just recovering from his injury. I'm saying he's at that Bryan at the beginning of 2016 before he came out on Raw and announced that he's retired mode. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, that's what it feels like, right? It feels like he wants to transition into something less physical so he can still stay in tune with the product. But in the meantime, explore ways to try to kind of get back into the ring if he can do so safely. So Godspeed, more power to him. I hope he has a full recovery for however long it takes. It took Bryan, 2 years to get cleared after he retired. So, if it takes 2 years or it takes 4 years, Adam Cole's still relatively a young guy. So hopefully he comes back.
I hope so, because that sounded not the best thing that you want to hear if you are hopeful he's coming back. Final news note from the world of AEW. They got some big events coming up next month and the beginning of next year. AEW is returning to the Hammerstein Ballroom for the holiday week shows. The company announced on Monday that they're going to be taping Dynamite and Collision from Hammerstein. They got Dynamite on 34th Street on Saturday, December 20th, and a special episode of Christmas Collision that will be taped the following day. These episodes will effectively be the go-home shows for AEW World's End coming up on December 27th. Tickets for the event will go on sale on November 24th. AEW also announced that they will be returning to the Esports Arena, Esports Stadium in Arlington, Texas, starting off at the beginning of next year in January 2026. They're airing 4 episodes of Collision, will air from the building. Tickets go on sale for that on November 24th. Heading over to Ring of Honor, ROH TV on Honor Club this week. The show featured Athena picking up a win over Harley Cameron to retain the ROH Women's World Championship, while Persephone defeated Valentina Rossi. Later, the CMLL star challenged Athena for the ROH Women's World Championship at Final Battle next month. QT Marshall picked up a win over Jack Jameson to warm up for Boom and Doom versus RPG Vice at Full Gear. Billy Stark scored a win over Katie Arquette, while Deonna Purrazzo defeated Viva Van in a Pure Rules matches. Post-match, Starks attacked Purrazzo
And then Top Flight picked up a win over STP's The Infantry. Post-match, Skyflight fought off STP, and that sets up a Ring of Honor 6-man tag team championship matchup coming up at Final Battle next month. So some stuff over there from Ring of Honor. Now heading over to Japan, New Japan Pro Wrestling had World Tag League kicking off with day one on Thursday. The show featured Shingo Takagi and Drilla Maloney defeating Gabe Kidd and Yota Tsuji in a terrific tag team main event to earn their first 2 points in the A block. Tai Chi and Satoshi Kojima picked up an upset win over 3-time World Tag League winners Bishamon in a solid bout. The House of Torture Cup went down as Evil and Don Fale scored a victory over Chase Owens and Yujiro Takahashi, while Bolton Oleg and Toriyano beat El Desperado and Shuju Ishikawa in the opener. Day two was this morning. You had the KOB, the Knockout Brothers. They went up against Finley and Hiromu Takahashi, with the Knockout Brothers picking up Finley and Hiromu picking up the victory there. You also had El Phantasmo and Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Shota Umino and Yuya Uemura. You had United Empire versus TMDK, with TMDK picking up the win, and Monster Stars picked up the win over the team of Sonata and Ren Narita. In New Japan news, Tony Khan, during his the conference call this week, talked about the Hiroshi Tanahashi and Okada matchup coming up at Wrestle Kingdom on January 4th, and the fact that Tony Khan had knew about this months in advance. He said, according to Khan, that he and Tanahashi had dinner back in May during Double or Nothing weekend, revealing that Okada was very excited after the idea was pitched. He said, "I think that the timing of the announcement was important because as I understand, Tanahashi was involved in some big matches up to that point with major stakes. His spot he would have been in different matches, including championship matches on New Japan, based on how some of those matches went. This is always what we talked about. It made sense on the AEW calendar for a number of reasons, and the fact that they have so much history with one another. So we're all very happy about the huge buzz around the announcement and the great ticket sales for New Japan Pro Wrestling with the announcement of Okada and Tanahashi at the Tokyo Dome." On how the plan came together, he said, "For us, Okada was always the plan, that he would travel, and it was an honor that AEW and Kazuchika Okada are in the position to work with New Japan Pro Wrestling and Hiroshi Tanahashi to promote Tanahashi's final match, and for Okada versus Tanahashi to be that match. That's what we talked about. And I had met with the president of New Japan back in May, and we were very excited about this and had come up to a number of AEW events this past year, and we had some real nice conversations. He was at Double or Nothing, and we had dinner, and this was what we talked about. And he was very excited about the possibility. And when I spoke with Okada, he was very excited about the possibility. And everybody thought this was the biggest possible opportunity to make this not only an incredible business success, but also, most of us, a well-deserved tribute to Hiroshi Tanahashi, who has been the legend of worldwide professional wrestling, and in particular, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Since the announcement of Okada and Tanahashi, Wrestle Kingdom has surpassed 40,000 tickets sold at Tokyo Dome, and is going to be the most attended Wrestle Kingdom in 5+ years. So big stuff for New Japan with that Okada and Tanahashi announcement for sure. But finally, what we missed, the last thing, CMLL Viernes Espectacular over in Mexico, Arena, Mexico. The show featured Mystico and Commander picking up a win over Beast Mortos and Mariano Cavanario in a great tag team main event. Soberano Jr. picked up a win over Hechicero Infernio, Angel de Ora, and Ultimo Guerrero in a very fun Cybernetico event. But the match of the night, one of my matches of the week, spoiler alert, El Sky teams, Masquerade Dorada and Neon beat Jet Speed in an absolutely spectacular tag team encounter that featured Speedball and the Jet playing heel for the first time. And they got so much heat from that Arena Mexico crowd. They were calling them perros, calling them putas. Oh my God, they were so great. It was so great. Jet Speed as heels. Sign me up. But that was what we missed. Well, we made it to Miss Krssi Luv's favorite time of the show, best and worst of the week. match of the week and moment of the week. Miss Krssi Luv, what was your best and worst of this week? You're muted.
Sorry, because someone's car was making too much noise back here. Best of the week, I'm going to give it to let's give it to Cody Rhodes for that promo.
All right. That's a good shout, Chris. What's your worst? What's your worst, Krssi?
Oh, worst of the week has to go to Triple H and them thinking that they can just do anything with Dolph Ziggler.
Okay. Chris, what about you? Best and worst of the week?
I said this on Monday. I'm sticking to it. The best moment of the week was the NYPD getting speared through that barricade by my tribal chief.
Those wasn't real cops.
They're auxiliary cops. They count. They count. They're auxiliary cops. They count. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Worst moment of the week was Impact not giving my boy Santana a rematch on the fucking spot. I don't care if it's not cleared because he technically wasn't cleared, but whatever.
Josh, what about you? Best and worst of the week?
Best of the week. I'm gonna have to give it to Tony Khan and Ariel Helwani for that interview.
Oh yes, that's true. That's a good one.
A lot of good vibes that came to it. A lot of positive feedback. People praising it. So I give it to both of them. As much as I've been criticizing Ariel for a lot, so it was good to finally see him, be a baby face for the week. 'Cause I don't know if it's gonna last. Worst of the week, probably gonna be TNA for that fucking booking. Oh yeah. We're gonna have Fandango go for the championship for our show. Yeah, because he's gonna be retiring. So let's give him let's not give it to the Puerto Rican guy who was our champion for a month and didn't defend it because we decided not to do shows. Let's give it to the other guy because he's retiring. So we're gonna sell tickets, right? Yeah, that's the plan. Yeah,
right. That's what we're gonna do, right? But yes, I will go with best of the week, Cody and TK. Cody was a part of that great angle on Raw and the great promo on SmackDown, and TK for the interview with Ariel. And then worst of the week, yeah, TNA, man. Fandango and for Kazarian. What a follow-up to your bullshit week last week. Moments of the week. Moments of the week. I'm gonna go with Roman and Brock's return in MSG.
I have two of them. Roman and Brock's return on Monday, and then Tony Storm and Mina in their dance choreography.
Chris,
I already gave my best moment, but I'll go back to the best wrestler of the week, and I agree with you guys. It was Cody for that promo.
That's a good moment. Yep.
Josh, moment of the week.
Moment of the week is Roman Reigns returning, and just Roman Reigns returning. I thought that was a great return. Just Roman Reigns, just to make that clear.
Just one return.
Just Roman Reigns for the pop. Just Roman Reigns for the pop. Yes.
Just Roman.
Matches of the week.
Just Roman.
I got 10. Okay, I'll run them down.
You got 10 matches?
Yeah, 10. That's a light week.
10 is a miracle to what we've been getting.
10, we got Hangman and Shibata from Dynamite. 9, you got Blake Monroe and Sol Ruka from Gold Rush. 8, Shelton Benjamin and Speedball from Dynamite. 7, Cena, Sheamus, Ray versus Judgment Day from Raw. 6, Mercedes versus Red Velvet from Dynamite. 5, Mystico and Commander versus Mortos and Cavernario from CMLL. 4, Shingo and Drilla versus Kid and Suji from World Tag League. 3, Gunther versus Javon Evans. 2, Dragunov versus McDonough. And this would have been a week where WWE had the top 2 picks of my matches of the week. Unfortunately, I do have a CMLL account. So Sky Team and Jet Speed is number 1 this week. Chris, what's your matches of the week? You give 3, 5, however many you want.
Heyman and Shibata was cool. Definitely like Javon Evans and Gunther. Probably my favorite match of the week. And then, you know what? Just for the nostalgia and just because of I enjoyed seeing them in that capacity, even though it's not what everybody wanted. John Cena trios match on Monday Night Raw.
Krssi?
5, Sol Ruka and Blake Monroe. 4 would be the tag match with Moxley and Claudio. And who did they go against? I can't remember. Shit.
Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong.
Thank you, friend. That's 4. 3 is going to be what's the U.S. title man name? Dragunov and yes, that's 3. Yes, David. Thank you, friend. And then 2 is going to be Shelton Benjamin and Speedball. And then number 1 is going to be shit, I just had it. Fuck.
Gunther and Javon.
Thank you. There you go. That was my number 1. How did you know? Okay.
I just did. I just this subjective reasoning of you.
Okay.
There's only one other good matchup that I know for sure you watch this week. That would be it. Josh.
Thank you.
Number 3, I'm gonna go with Hangman and Shibata. Number 2, I'm gonna go with Gunther.
I forgot about that one. Damn it.
And Javon Evans. And number 1, I'm gonna go with Shelton and Speedball.
There we go. That's our matches of the week, best and worst of the week. But tonight is AEW Full Gear. I will be there live in Newark. You can start watching on TNT at 7 p.m. Eastern time because we got the tailgate brawl with a whole bunch of matches that shouldn't be on this card. Like this one, Eddie Kingston and Hook versus the Workhorsemen. Kingston and Hook win.
Who the hell is the Workhorsemen?
You're right. Yeah, you're right. But why?
Just why? You don't need any other words. You don't
why?
need any other words.
Why?
Just why? Why?
It's kind of fucked up because I do like the Workhorsemen. Like I've worked with them before, like on the indie scene, but I don't need that match.
Boom and Doom will team as is Big Boom AJ and QT Marshall versus RPG Vice. I'm going with Boom and Doom. Krssi?
Yeah, the crowd likes these guys. Boom and Doom.
Josh?
Boring.
Boom. I mean, Boom and Doom. I mean,
damn. Well, your mic totally fucked you over there. I couldn't
right.
even know what you goddamn said. It just it gave him Down syndrome. Goddamn. Chris, who you got? Boom and Doom or RPG Vice?
You know what? I wish this match was in Tijuana so I could see my son Q Tijuana, but no, I'm gonna have to go with Boom and Doom.
Then we got the $200,000 four-way tag outrunners, Unacclaimed, Bang Bang Gang, and Big Bill and Brian Keefe. I'm going with Bang Bang Gang. Chris?
Bang Bang Gang.
Krssi?
Bang Bang Gang.
Josh? Oh, I think Josh is gone. Or he's frozen. For the CMLL World Trios Championships, El Sky Team versus the Don Callis family. Who you got, Krssi?
Don Callis family.
Chris?
I don't bet against that boy Takeshita. That's the man right there.
Yep.
I'm going with El Sky Team to retain because Okada and Takeshita can't get along.
That is true.
That is very true, though. Okay, fine.
Then on the main card, a match for no reason whatsoever. Megan Bain and Rene Shafir, Timeless Love Bombs, Babes of Wrath, Sisters of Sin. Winner gets their match stipulation for the semifinals of the World Tag Team Title Tournament. Who you got, Chris?
This is fucking stupid.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Tony Storm and Mita.
Who you got, Krssi?
He didn't have anything else to do with the ladies, so this is why he's doing this. I'm gonna go with Bane and Shafir.
Who you got, Josh?
I'm gonna go with Bane and Shafir.
I'm going with Megan and Marina. Pac versus Darby Allin. I'm going with Pac for the win here. Krssi?
Pac.
Josh?
I'm going for Darby.
Wait, did I pick the
Kris.
wrong girl? Wait.
I would pick Darby as well.
Then we got no holds barred. Jon Moxley goes one-on-one with Kyle O'Reilly. Please, dear God, Kyle O'Reilly win. Josh,
Yeah.
what you got?
I'm gonna go with Kyle.
Krssi?
Kyle, he has to win.
Chris?
Yeah, Kyle.
Then we got a $1 million trios matchup. Kenny Omega and Jurassic Express versus Josh Alexander and the Young Bucks. Krssi?
Josh and the Young Bucks.
Josh?
I'm gonna go with the faces. I'm gonna go with Jurassic Express and Omega.
Chris?
Omega and Express, Josh Alexander and the Callis family beat up on the Young Bucks. We get the Aline return. Carry on my wayward son.
Oh, that would be great if they play that at the end. That would be great. Yes. I'm all for this. This seems like the logical thing to do here. Yeah, Kenny Omega, Jurassic Express win. Don Callis family turns. Kenny and the Bucks reunite.
That's it.
Then-
That's what's gonna happen. Yep.
For the TNT Championship, it's going to be Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe. No disqualification. Krssi?
Fletcher.
Josh?
I'm gonna go with Briscoe. I think he finally gets the title.
Chris?
I'm not gonna bet against Kyle Fletcher.
Right, that's the thing. You cannot bet.
I'm going with Mark Briscoe. Mark Briscoe finally wins the big one.
All right, Chris, we'll have to see what happens.
Rodito defend the AEW World Tag Team Championships against FTR. Who you got, Krssi?
Ooh. I think FTR might win this one.
I'm going with FTR, new champs.
Yeah,
Josh?
new champs. It pains
Yeah,
me.
I'm going with FTR.
Chris?
I'm going with fuck the revival.
Indeed.
Fuck the revival.
AEW National Championship Casino Gauntlet. Who will be the first national champion? Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin are entrants in 1 and 2. We got Speedball Mike Bailey, Kevin Knight, and Ricochet have been announced. I'm going with Ricochet to become the first ever champion. Krssi?
I think Ricochet should win this. Even though I think Shelton is a good second, though, but I think Ricochet deserves this more.
Chris?
I low-key wish Bobby would win this, but Ricochet
Yeah, it's so
the best
hard.
option.
Like F
Josh?
WWE.
I think Ricochet wins.
For the AEW Women's World Championship, Kris Statlander defends against CBS champion Mercedes Moné. Krssi?
Oh God. I want Kris Statlander to win. I don't want Monet to get another belt.
Josh?
I think Statlander retains.
Chris?
I think you have Mercedes win the belt, have a few defenses, and then you could start the fall from there. So I'm gonna go with Mercedes.
I go with Kris Statlander. This would totally ruin her title reign and the importance of her title win if she just lost it to Mercedes to me.
Right.
And then finally, inside of a 15-foot high steel cage, Hangman Adam Page defends the AEW World Championship against Samoa Joe. Krssi?
Oh my God, this is so hard because I want Samoa Joe to win, but I don't think he's going to win. I think Hangman is going to win. Damn it, Hangman.
Josh?
I think Heyman is going to win.
Chris?
You know what smells worse than cowboy shit? Cowboy shit trapped in a cage. Let's go, baby.
Oh my God. What the fuck? What the fuck was that?
Cowboy shit trapped in a cage, apparently.
It's bad either way. It's bad either way.
Shout outs to Da Pello, who sent us a few super chat donations here. He gave us a 1 and a 2 and a 3. Thank you so much, Da Pello. Great to have you back. You're always one of our big contributors in the chat, and we always appreciate hearing your thoughts and your opinions on the world of wrestling as well. He says, if Kris and Mercedes ends up main eventing, Mercedes wins. If not, then Kris wins. Yeah, I literally got into a whole debate with Jesus and Maggie yesterday. I was like, if Mercedes and Kris are main eventing, then I'm gonna assume Mercedes winning. They're like, no, it's in Kris Statlander's home area. I was like, Kris Statlander's from Long Island. It's in New Jersey. That's not really
Right. It's a different.
Not
location.
even nowhere in the same ballpark.
Yeah,
So-
and then also like people put too much stock into that. Like what are we doing?
Well, I think people just want a first ever female main event of a paper.
Oh,
So they'll
man, it's
take it however they can get it.
Yeah, it's just unfortunately it's not tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't seem tonight. Like and it's the fact that if Hangman and Joe main evented last month, then it would be a chance for them to main event. But they didn't main event last month, and they're in a cage this month. They're main event.
No, that's their main event for sure. Like that's just...
You can't have Hangman not main event 2 pay-per-views in a row.
100% agree. But we've made it to the end of another edition of our flagship. Hope you all enjoy Full Gear Weekend, like I'm sure all of us will as well. And appreciate y'all for joining us for the flagship podcast this week. And want to thank Chris G specifically for joining us this week. Good to see you, good brother. We're going to give you the floor. Let everybody know where they can follow you on social media and when they might see you again.
Oh, on Twitter, you can find me at Tru Heel Chris G. On Instagram and TikTok, it's THCGCEEGEE. It's for the CG. There we go up on the screen. I'm going viral on a video, so everybody follow that shit and hit me with some reposts because I need these brands to hit me up. We need to make this money. The kids, Christmas is coming. We got children. Find me there, and of course, you can find me.
Exactly.
You could also find me here on the YouTube channel. Of course, you'll see me more often. Reviews, recaps, whatever. And of course, I'm doing your shorts and your behind the scenes stuff. And then the Tru Heel Heat Sports and Entertainment, me and SPT threw Tru Heel Heat check. So you want to catch that and then follow the YouTube. Yeah, that's it. Follow me there.
Go. Krssi Luv, let the people know. Rant specialist extraordinaire.
Hey guys, so you can follow me, Krssi Luv _1, Tru Heel Krssi Luv, and just my plain name. Catch SP and I probably Monday evening as we do our review for Force. What fuckboys they are this week. Oh my god. I know who's getting the LVP for that show. Idiot.
Shouldn't be D-Mac. D-Mac actually got a mission done this week.
No
spoilers. I didn't see it. No spoilers.
I know. I just said he got a mission done this week.
I got a couple hours left before you guys.
So you finish watching, then hit us up. But yeah, no, SP and I will talk on the other side of things. Like,
there you go. And Josh, let the people know.
You can follow me, JM Punk 321 X and Instagram, and I'll be back. You're doing the review tomorrow for Full Gear?
Yes, sir.
I'll be on for the review.
There you go. Me and Josh will be here for the review of Full Gear 2025. Comment down below. Let us know what you thought about this week in wrestling. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHeelSB3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Tru Heel Heat. Patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat. $3 a month. Get your exclusive content. The best way to support us when we are not live here. And join us live tomorrow. It'll be probably 12:05 p.m. Eastern time, so I can sleep after I come back from Newark. 12:05 p.m. Eastern time with our review of Full Gear 2025. So for Josh, for Miss Krssi Luv, for Chris G, it is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SB3. This has been Tru Heel Heat 356 She Gears. We are signing off until next time.
laters.
Peace.